Just tell your parents that's hi.
You're listening to the Boxing Voice.
It's showtime! Welcome back, boxing fans.
Blood is good.
Blood is emotion.
Too much blood coming out of the eye.
Blood is a story, a drama.
Deep gas, blood pouring right into his eye.
Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion.
Blood streaming now from the cut in the eye, the nose, his mouth, his cheeks swollen, and he's still tall.
What we want is a bloody good fight tonight.
We have Heather, the Heat Hardy. Is this you?
This is me. I think I need to talk to you every night because you make me smile and blush over here.
Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o. Yeah, I love trip. I'm okay.
You serious? You serious?
And that's the good thing about UK. That's why I can't hate on them guys, man. They love fucking boxing.
No fighters in England. They all bums.
Did you hear what this idiot just said?
Yo, son, you're gonna get your ass beat by Molina, son.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's overrated.
Do some pushes for me right now.
For the interview?
Yes.
Let those gifted hands go. Get out of here, Virgil. Go home.
What next?
You want the table started for free. You not even lying. You want the table started for free.
BoxingVoice.com.
This is why we use the word sensation.
All right. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Boxing Voice. Happy to be here, man. I'm jonesing right now. I'm nicking. I need my fix. I needed to talk to you guys, man. I'm not decided yet on this Alvarado Marquez fight, man. I want to hear what you guys got to say about this fight, man. Definitely. I like to take this time to thank Al Heyman. Nah, I'm fucking with y'all. I definitely want to send a shout out to Jay Aguilar. Thank you, my friend, for your donation, and I will definitely apply that to the Ruslan Pavatnikov glove, signed, of course, by Ruslan. So you'll be in the runnings, my friend. And Craig Lamrock, my dude. This guy is subscribed to our PayPal. Like, this is a true G right here. Shout out to you, for dropping that donation. And I'm going to divide that amount as well for you because we appreciate you, brother. Just as much as I appreciate, I appreciate you more than what I appreciate Audible. But Audible, I fucks with them. And I'm hoping that you guys are. I will find out pretty soon now. They should be letting me know how many people went on over there and took advantage of that, 30-day free trial that we're offering using our link over at theboxingvoice.com/affiliate sponsors. Click on one of those Audible banners, man, and you can get some good titles, man. Like I told you, I'm listening to that Mike Tyson now. It's perfect for me. As you guys know, I'm always on the road anyway, so I listen to podcasts nonstop, and this is exactly what that is. It's a podcast because, they're reading it to you. So definitely awesome. And like I said, man, they got tons of titles, man, tons of titles, especially in boxing. But it doesn't have to be boxing, remember. And you don't even have to want to use it. You don't even need to use it. Just go ahead, sign up, support, do it for us. The same way that you guys go and do those iTunes reviews, man. I just want to shout out everyone that, has taken opportunity to go ahead and rate us, whether that be, 5 stars or 1 star, because my boy Roy Salbilia, damn, he still hasn't changed that 1-star review. That's crazy. You blaming me for Blog Talk. Just know that you are scratched off my Christmas list. You will get nothing for Christmas, nothing. But there's a lot of you guys that rated us 5 stars, so thank you for that. And those that haven't, that's the biggest way you can help us because what you're doing is allowing us to be visible to other fans of this sport or that may not be from this sport. Because look, a lot of you guys that are new, don't forget Jose was a casual fan. And now look at Jose making fucking awesome picks and shit. Shout out to Jose from Canada, man. We're going to meet up at the Cotto fight. So I hope all of you guys are out there, man. June 7th, we in the building. Heavy. James is coming out here. So you want to meet James? He's going to be in New York City, Madison Square Garden. Heavy. Matt, the producer, he's coming all the way out here from Ohio. Come on, let's make it a party. Bring the party to Nets, because you know I can't afford to go to Vegas. Fuck that. Unless you want to donate the ticket, then I'll definitely be in Vegas without a doubt, partying like a rock star. And I'll be sure, I'll tell you one thing, I'll be sure to continue to use my T+ if I do go to Vegas, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And you need to have that testosterone right, my friend. You know, you just need to have that testosterone right, because, you know, after you get to the age of 25, your body naturally starts to drop down in testosterone. So you might as well handle that. Go ahead on over to theboxingvoice.com/affiliate sponsors and click on that On It banner. Get yourself some T+. I recommend it because I use it. Look at this young, healthy body. I know a lot of you guys used to put fat in the chat. I ain't fat no more, huh? Telling you. Working out. This fucking house is killing me. And a little bit of T+ gets the body right. Chat room roll call. I don't even think I did this. Yeah, I did do this last week, but I did it not during the live portion of the show. You guys really suck, man. You never remind me to do this shit. Damn. Chat room roll call. And that number, if you want to call in and you want to talk, I want to hear your picks. I need you guys to help me with this Alvarado Marquez. I'm torn in between the two. I don't know who's what in this fight, man. It's fucking hard. But call us. Definitely call us. Give us your picks. Give us your takes. And the number is 646-478-3068. Again, that number, 646-478-3068. So,
call me now.
All right, let's talk some boxing. I'm going to take some calls, man. I don't want to leave you guys on hold too long. Oh, we got Munguia in the house. Munguia, my bad, man. You know I was doing my thing over here and totally not paying attention. And my man James. Oh, man, they're both here. Let me see. Let me introduce these guys properly.
It's me, Mario.
What up? Let me switch real quick, all right? Hold on.
Cool. Mute yourself there then.
Me. I am.
Okay. Where's my boy?
Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Boxing fans, here is Jameson.
What's up, man? I'm with you, brother. I've been torn all week about Alvarado Marquez, but I'm confident in my pick, and I think that Marquez is going to take this.
Oh, man, Marquez. You're going Marquez. See, I just don't know, man. I don't know. Marquez, man, he's... Oh, man.
We don't know.
Yeah, but I also... I think in the last fight, too, that Mike Alvarado got something kind of taken from him, and we know that Alvarado does a good job, Marquez does a real good job at counterpunching and kind of making the fight his own, because we know that Alvarado's going to be the aggressor. He's going to stay to boxing. I think he's going to get counterpunched a lot. And what really troubles Marquez is more the speed that comes in with Tim Bradley, the speed that came in with Pacquiao, not necessarily just a boxer in general. So I think what it's going to really come down to, and it's kind of like a determining factor, which kind of sucks about this fight, is because there's two intangibles that we really don't know. Is Marquez going to get old, or has he been old, or is Alvarado going to be ruined from what happened in the Provodnikov fight? Because that guy has taken a lot of punishment. Provodnikov was just the icing on the cake. It just wasn't that fight. It was many fights before that. He went to war with Herrera, who's traditionally a boxer, and we saw what he did with Danny Garcia. So I think if Alvarado's ruined, obviously Marquez will win. If Marquez is old, obviously Alvarado will win. But if I had to make my pick, I think that the speed, I think Alvarado's not fast enough to get to Marquez, and I think Marquez is just going to outbox him in 12 rounds. So I don't think it's going to end in knockout, but I definitely do think it's going to be a Marquez win, though. But I've been like you, man.
So wait a minute. So you're not torn.
Hearing what people are saying.
So you're not torn then, because you're going Marquez.
Yeah, I'm going Marquez, but I've been torn all week. It wasn't until like yesterday or the day before that I really made my official prediction. plus I watched a lot of footage of both of them too, and that's where I kind of got this from.
See, man, I'm truly torn. I've never gone into a fight week this uncertain because to me, Marquez, I've always said Marquez was never nothing like special to me. You know what I'm saying? He just wasn't like I think that I've always held a grudge against Marquez for not fighting Guerrero at 135 because I felt like Guerrero was chasing him. And if you remember Guerrero, making his campaign for 2 years straight that he could fight and beat Mayweather, then imagine it when he was younger chasing Juan Manuel Marquez. It was the same thing. And I didn't like that Marquez never took that fight. And I didn't like that in his in-between Pacquiao, he would fight like guys we never heard of, like Ramos and stuff like that, like that Fedorchenko fight, like that was worthless, yo. Like I don't even know why that took place. I don't even remember at this point where Fedorchenko was ranked, but he hadn't fought nobody. We didn't know that dude. Bottom line, we didn't know him. And he does a lot of that. But now he's been fighting the young and up-and-coming tough guys. You know what I'm saying? He fought Bradley, and now he's getting in with Alvarado. He doesn't have a problem. I mean, he did not want that Provodnikov fight, but I understand him. I mean, he's 40 years old, He's 40 years old. So if he is going to take on new names, he's got to make it a little bit fair because, Ruslan will bring a pace that Marquez would not be willing to go through, really.
Yeah, like I said, I think that it's really speed that messes with Marquez, and we know that Alvarado's going to – I don't think Alvarado's going to want to stay in the pocket and try to exchange with him because Marquez does have power. And I think they're going to attack Alvarado's body early, slowing him down through the middle rounds, and he's just going to sit there and be able to pick him off because once you get dead, man, your legs start going out under you. You get lazy with your punches, and I think that's going to allow for all the counter punching that Marquez is going to do because he attacks the body well, and you can't get lazy with him. You got to punch as fast forward as you pull him back. So I don't know, man. I'm not torn. I guess when you say that, I guess I'm not too torn because I'm pretty confident that I think Marquez is going to win the fight. But I still think it's a 50-50 fight. If I was wrong, I mean, it's just going to be a matter of Marquez being old, nothing else. That's it. I don't think that if skills obviously were there or if they were both in their prime, that this would be even a matchup. So if Marquez comes into the ring old as shit and I guess I couldn't foresee it, that's how Alvarado's going to win. But if not, I think that Alvarado is going to lose.
You know what I was thinking of in this fight, and it's really been building in my head, and I've been like kind of rationalizing this. And you know what? If I'm wrong on this, I would welcome somebody to call in or James Ness to kind of correct me on this. But you know what I kind of see when I look at these two guys? Alvarado is the kind of guy, in my opinion, that he's very smart when it comes to unloading punches, and he's very smart when it comes to brawling. He uses brawling and mixing it up almost at the most opportune times. Now I say that because there really isn't a complete opportune time for it to happen. It's risky to just go in there and kind of go balls to the wall. But he seems to do it at times when he has the most control over it, and he's aware of his opponent's lack of control in the situation. He just picks the best moments, I think, in a fight. I think the Breidis Prescott is probably the most overwhelming example of him choosing when to brawl, and he came back in that fight. I really think that his aggression was what slowed Breidis Prescott's tempo down and took the momentum away from him because he was gaining all sorts of momentum in that fight. Marquez, on the other hand, is, in my opinion, the polar opposite. He's a smart fighter. He's the kind of fighter that can beat a lot of guys without doing anything overcomplicated. He's the kind of guy who can go one route and get the job done against, of course, the appropriate competition. But he chooses the wrong times in fights, in my opinion, to get into scraps, to get into messes in the ring. I think he's a smart fighter, and usually, I guess it's that, Mexican spirit. I don't know what it is, but he's always been the kind of fighter, in my opinion, who can get the job done without having to resort to certain tactics and not tactics, but I guess abandoning strategic measures for irrational ones and mixing it up. So to me, that's, I think, the part of this fight that just excites me the most. And that is why I'm with Ness. It's hard for me to pick it. Is Marquez, I think, capable of winning this fight? Yes. If he shows up on his best night, Alvarado shows up on his best night, it is Marquez's fight to win. However, that's never the case with Marquez. It really isn't. There's always some underlining circumstance, and I think in this fight it could be the fact that Marquez could blow a big lead by getting into something stupid, and Alvarado could take advantage of that.
See, for me, I feel like this is going to be like deja vu of Baby Bull Marquez. Alvarado's going to be Baby Bull.
That's a great point.
He's going to be Baby Bull. He's going to come in. He's going to push the older man. He's going to have success, but he's not as sharp as the older man. So in the mix of being a bully, he's going to be getting caught with solid counter shots. And I think that the effects of the Ruslan and the Brandon Rios fights are going to show up when those hard, effective blows start to land. I think that I might go Marquez in this one just because I feel that Alvarado has took a lot of damage and he's just not as sharp as Marquez. And when I mean sharp, I don't want you guys to use the normal definition. Let's just say Marquez just does it better. You understand what I'm saying? He's just better at it than Alvarado. Alvarado is more capable of getting into slug fights than Marquez. If you allow Marquez to sleep you all night with jabbing you and countering you when you come in, that's how the fight's going to go. And he'll walk around the ring, you know, and use the ropes. But he always gets into it because you got to pressure him. And that's what I think Alvarado's going to do. But one side of me feels like even if that pressure comes, Alvarado is such a big guy, and he's really in shape for this fight. Let's not forget that he went out of he got out of Denver for this training camp, so there's no more games. You've seen the photos of him. The dude's ripped. He's ripped. He looks good, man. He looks good. You know, and you know, we're used to seeing Alvarado basically struggle to make weight, but isn't this going to be his first at 147?
I think it's technically at 143. Oh, is it 144? I thought it was 143.
Well, remember, this guy has been, he's what, 30-something years old, and he's been at 140 his entire career, and they just allowed him to make 4 more pounds. For him, this shit, we might see a rejuvenated Alvarado. And really, I don't think you need much to beat a 40-year-old Marquez at this point. But I'm going to hold off to the end of the show before I make my point. I'm going to take some calls real quick. I don't want to leave these guys on hold too long. 414, you're live on the Boxer Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Scotty from Milwaukee.
Scotty, what's going on, brother?
Man, I've been gone for a while. Sorry about that. But a couple quick points for you. I'll just start off real quick. I'm going to pick Marquez. I'm sure we got all show to debate back and forth why, but I'm going to go Marquez. Ness, I know that you and I texted back and forth a couple weeks ago. I did book my ticket to the Boxing Hall of Fame weekend, so I'll be out there for all 4 days. So if you make it down for a day or two, you know, we'll hook it up and meet up. But I'm definitely going. I got my airline ticket, got my hotel, got it all set.
Are you going to the Cotto fight as well?
I'm not going to the Cotto fight as well.
Oh, damn!
Unless you got a line on tickets and stuff. I mean, it's costing me $1 to come out there for 4 days.
No, listen.
You know?
You're preaching to the choir. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it, because you know that I do not go to Vegas. I've been to Vegas one time. I do not go. I can't afford it. I'm a fucking family man over here. So I get you.
No, I hear you.
I wish.
I mean, if you got a line on
listen,
tickets, I could find a way. But
you know whose fault it is? It's all James' fault, because just today or yesterday I was telling James, like, yo, I can get us approved for the Tyson card that's gonna be I think it's a Tyson card that's gonna be on that Friday, and but he doesn't want to take that ride. And honestly, unless it's a big Showtime or HBO fight, I don't want to take that drive. But you being out there would make me go.
Yo,
Well, I
don't blame it on
appreciate
me,
that.
fool. I got 5 hours there on an airplane the day before. Then we got to drive 3 hours there and back. And
No. It's 4 hours.
The next night, bro.
No, it's 4 hours, not
Well,
3 hours.
Well,
Whatever,
I'll
okay.
tell you what. So I'll text you in a week or two, and when it gets closer, and see if we can hook it up one day while I'm out there in Canastota.
Let me tell you something,
the
Scott.
one
I'm
quick-
gonna just say on record. I'm gonna just go on record and say that I wouldn't mind going, especially if it was just me and James, because last time not the last time, but I went for the Gennady Proska fight. Oh man, that's a beautiful highway. I really opened up the Camaro on that highway. I had Vic throwing up.
Well, if it works out, then that'd be cool. But we'll see as it gets closer. But the one thing I want to mention real quick, and because I wasn't on the show the last couple of weeks, I'm just gonna dip back into that Mayweather-Maidana fight. I think we all got to stop pushing for a rematch and keep that pressure on having him fight Pacquiao, because one of two things happened that night. Either one, he like he said, he just wanted to make the fight interesting, so he stayed on the inside and he brawled with Maidana, and he just did it because he wanted to. And then the second half of the fight, we can all pull our scorecards out, but we pretty much agreed that he won that second half. Or the second part, which I believe happened, is Maidana was getting the best of him the first few rounds, the first half of the fight, and being as good as he is and as technical as he is, figured him out, changed his strategy, and then took over the second half of the fight. So either way, he knows how to read Maidana. He knows what to do now. That second fight will be a joke. That'll be 11 rounds to 1. I don't want to see it. That's just my perspective. So, like I said, I'll text you in a couple weeks. We'll see if we can meet up in Canastota, and that's all I got.
All right, Scotty. Well, thanks for the call, my friend. Good to have you back. Let me go to some other callers here. 312, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Yo, what's good, Ness? This is Lino calling from the Shy.
What up?
Long time listener. First time calling in. First time actually catching the show live, but definitely appreciate the show, man. You guys don't have plenty of insight.
Thank you, man. We're happy to have you lose your virginity here by having your first call.
For sure. Just want to get into the Marquez and Alvarado. I mean, what do you guys think about can Marquez knock Alvarado out? Like, that's my big question.
I don't think he can. I really don't.
But I think he could be a cumulative punches where eventually they stop him, similar to what Provodnikov was.
I completely agree.
He doesn't have one-hit power, but he has sustainable power, and it hurts from round 1 to round 8, and when it starts hitting you, it's going to stud you up. So it's already been broken. Unfortunately, once that egg's been cracked, it's easier to break. So.
Yeah, because that's really the only way I see him being beating Alvarado. Because Alvarado, if he sticks to the game plan and he uses his boxing skills, because he's got a decent skill set, and doesn't get baited into that brawl like he did against Provodnikov, and which he always does, which he did the first Rios fight. He has a good chance of outboxing Marquez, the 40-year-old Marquez, that is. And you see that Marquez, I don't know if y'all heard, he cut his training camp short 2 months. He said the last training camp with Bradley was 5 months, and this one was only 3 monts. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, but
he's
he's also older now, and he's fighting more consistently, so he doesn't need to have 5-month training camps. But I just want to go on record saying I don't think Marquez could knock anybody out. That Pacquiao shit never fooled me. That was just a perfect shot. That's what that was. That was the shot heard around the fucking globe. But it's not that he's powerful. Like, I know he did knock out Baby Bull, and that one was another nice knockout, and that was an uppercut. But
he was there for that fight all day.
I don't know, man. I just don't see. I don't see people knocking Alvarado out like that, man. I mean, he's gonna go out the way he went out in the Ruslan fight. He's not getting.
Yeah, he
out.
stayed in there with Ruslan like to the end almost, you know. So he was eating a lot of those punches like all throughout the fight, you know. So I don't think Marquez can knock him out, and that's the only way I see him winning. What's the drug testing situation on this?
Nevada, right? What is it, Nevada or California? They're not doing nothing special.
It's a don't ask, don't tell policy.
That's all right. One last thing. I mean, the only thing you said, Baby Boy. You comparing this to Baby Boy. Baby Boy doesn't have any power though. Compared to
but
Alvarado.
Alvarado doesn't have any power. He ain't knock out. Who he knocked out?
Well, I think from a stylistic standpoint, right? Is that what you were talking about, Ness? Because that's right when you said that, to me, I could see like images of that fight and kind of place Alvarado's body and seeing the kind of same stuff transpire. Like right when you said Baby Bull, I mean those two fights are fresh in my mind. I just saw them a few weeks ago, and I agree completely as far as style and as far as the way it can kind of transpire. You know what I mean? Like I could really see that fight turning out similarly because of the way Alvarado conducts himself throughout 12, or at least throughout the duration of a fight.
He's gonna he gets stoppages in my opinion. And 312, I'm gonna put you on hold and go to some other callers, but you can still listen in. I'm gonna just mute you. Thank you for calling in, brother. Congrats on losing that virginity on the boxing voice, baby, voice of the people. Before I go to our next caller, Mario, you want to finish that thought?
No. I'm good.
Okay,
real quick, he knocked out Brady Prescott, though. Let's not forget about that.
Okay, didn't Crawford just do that, or damn near do that?
A lightweight. What?
Yo, listen, Prescott was never nothing. He was never nothing. He knocked out a bum. He knocked out a bum and became famous for that.
Well, no, but that's not fair. James, are you saying that? Are you talking about the size comparison, or are you talking about just that validates Alvarado's power?
No, I was just playing devil's advocate because that happened in the last 2 or 3 years. So I was just saying he did knock someone out. You can't say he didn't knock anyone out because he did someone.
You can't listen. You can't play devil's advocate with British Prescott because if I consider. If Judah is like a B-, Prescott's like a D+.
What? Why can't you ask if he's knocked anyone out? And yes, the answer is yes.
And what I'm saying is that knockout is nothing. That shit is nothing.
And I'm not sitting here arguing the merit of knocking out Brady Prescott.
Oh, okay. So that's where
bringing it up, saying yes, he did.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, that's where the lack of communication came in because I thought you was using that as like, oh, well, he does have power. I'm like, no, the fuck he don't.
Fuck no. I don't think either of them really have power. I don't think either of them have much power. But I kind of wanted to get this out too before. Mario kind of brought up the fact that sometimes he exchanges on the inside and he does real well. A lot of times you'll see him box first, then he goes on the inside. When I think he's kind of getting tired or he's trying to conserve a little bit of energy, where he doesn't want to take that punishment or he doesn't want to run around anymore, so he goes on the inside. And he does have a bit of an inside game. I just really don't see the inside game really coming too much into play with Marquez. Because two things are going to happen. Either you're going to have Alvarado kind of circling out and Marquez kind of being the aggressor, which I really don't see happening too much, or you're going to see Alvarado kind of coming in on the inside. Where I think the swing is going to start happening is when he starts feeling that power. Because Marquez doesn't have the knockout power, but he has enough power to want to make you not want to come in on him as much as you want. I think that's when you might see an alteration. You kind of see Alvarado try to bring it on the inside, but Marquez is too, I don't want to use the term slick, but skilled to get drug into a dog fight because everyone keeps thinking, and I see the headlines everywhere on boxing scene, that this is going to be a war. It's not going to be a war. This is going to be a boxing match. And to be honest with you, deep down, I kind of think this fight's going to be a little bit boring. Not boring in the sense that I think
I don't think so.
I'm sorry.
I agree, James, that it can be.
Go war?
I just don't feel that Alvarado's not going to take advantage of his fucking size and the fact that he's able to weigh 4 extra pounds, let alone his natural size. And it's in his nature to make the fight. It's in his nature. He's going to try and bully Marquez, and it's going to look like the Baby Bull fight. But listen,
No, well, and you know,
down. Let's let the callers decide
real
what they
quick,
want to talk about.
Let me get one counterpoint real quick before you go. If people thought Bradley and Marquez was kind of boring, you're sure as fuck gonna think this one is. I think so anyway. That's it. That's all I'll say. You go.
I'm gonna save my response till when we get to that point. I have a lot to say on that, and James just kind of not hit a nerve, but I really think that is kind of underlooking. I think it can be. You know what? No, I'm gonna save it for later. Don't worry. Go ahead. On to the.
I will be on later. You can't talk behind my back, Mario. Say it.
No, it's not. No, and it's not that. I think that you're right. I want to give you your just due. I think if Marquez is going to run away with this fight, it is going to be extremely boring. You're right. I just don't see that. Marquez is the kind of guy who always makes those mental lapses. As beautiful and as as much integrity as he has in his boxing skills and the boxing prowess that he possesses, especially as a Mexican fighter. I think he's a hard-headed kind of Mexican fighter, like they tend to be. The difference is that his ability doesn't correspond with that kind of rationale. In my opinion, I feel like Marquez will at some point get frustrated or bored in the fight, and I think Alvarado will get desperate. I think we've seen him at that point, and you made a great point as far as Alvarado's abandoning the boxing game plan, correlating with him getting tired. But I still don't think that really matters as much when it's efficient, when it works. And we've seen that. It works. Whether he's tired or whether it's a tactical play, it works. I don't see both fighters playing nice that long. I can't. And I think that they're going to get into a tag match at some point in the fight. I think Marquez abandons his game plan. Even if it's briefly, we'll see fireworks. And I think Alvarado's going to get desperate. And I think those kind of two fighters with a proficiency, or not a proficiency, but with the motif to kind of start out boxing and regress to their more instinctive type fighting, you're always going to get fireworks. You're always going to get them.
Yeah, but to kind of counter off that point that you just said, that I think that Alvarado likes to go on the inside for as long as it works for him. The moment he gets countered once, like I watched the Provodnikov fight this morning, and he would go on the inside and he would shoot some uppercuts and they would land successful. So then he would stay there. But then all of a sudden, overhand right would come from Provodnikov, and then he'd either one, be dazed and have to run, or two, just got the fuck out of there. So I have to think that the counterpunching and the defense of Marquez on the inside is really going to just kind of walk into his game, or Alvarado's inside game when he starts like throwing those uppercuts is going to really walk right into what Marquez is really wanting to do, because they know that. I mean, everything that we're saying, we know sure as fuck that both of these camps know this. So I mean, it's just kind of. I think the tactical skills, if that's even a word, of Marquez is just he's gonna outsmart Alvarado. I think he's gonna set some traps, lure him into kind of, because if there's one thing that we know is that Alvarado, when he gets tired, he throws really lazy. He kind of pushes with his punches instead of snaps them out. And when he starts pushing with those punches, you're gonna see the overhand rights, and you're gonna see the left hooks to the body, and that's what Marquez is good at. So that's what I think. I guess I don't know. That's it.
Wow.
I'm long-winded in that. Sorry, go to callers.
This fight is going to be so good that you just changed my mind again, and this is why I'm not decided on this fight, dude. Like, I was sure that Alvarado's size coming into play, that he'll be rejuvenated, he'll be a younger, fresher, bigger Alvarado, but you're right about those mistakes, and that's what I said in the beginning when I said that Marquez is just better. He's better in terms of like the skill and staying tight. Alvarado is not. He's open. He's more liable to get hit than Marquez. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it out to the streets. I don't know who I'm picking yet. 951, you're live. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Josh from SoCal.
What's up, man?
Josh,
yeah, I kind of agree with you. I agree with Ness. I never bought into Marquez's power just because of the Pacquiao knockout. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't have any, but, I didn't buy into him being some one-punch knockout artist. As far as the Provodnikov-Alvarado fight, I honestly don't think it's analogous to this fight this weekend, because Provodnikov applies constant pressure, whereas Marquez is more of that guy who kind of hangs back and counterpunches. I mean, he'll apply pressure, but he's not going to do it constant like Provodnikov, where he's constantly, applying the pressure. He's forced Alvarado to fight inside. I don't know if Marquez is going to force him to fight inside the same way.
No, I think when he gets exhausted, though, he's going to want to do it because he's going to try to jump to a plan B. Because boxing on the outside really isn't going to work the entire time. And like I said, I firmly believe that he goes on the inside when he gets tired. So when I bring up the Provodnikov fight, what really stands out to me more than anything else than him being lazy and him being like, is one, he allows himself to get cut off in the ring, which is really, really bad. But especially against Provodnikov. But two, I really think that the beating he took in it and the fact that he conceded himself, that really took something out of him. That takes something spiritually. Maybe that reinvigorated him and made him feel like, oh, okay, fuck this, I'm better than this, and I know I am. But at the same time, as you took a beating like that, man, I'm telling you, you lost something. I think you lost something. So his willingness to exchange might not be there, and that's what I'm kind of banking on too.
Well, the caller dropped off. I don't know what happened. But 443, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
What's up, man? That's the Slug, man.
Slug, what up?
What's going on, baby?
Chilling.
Man, I think it's a hey, I like this fight coming up, man. Mike Alvarado and Marquez. I think I'm going with Marquez, but I think it's gonna go to a decision. Definitely. And I think Mike Alvarado gonna get his ass beat. It's gonna be a 10-2 fight.
Wow.
10 rounds and 2.
I think it's gonna be more.
Bold statement.
I think Alvarado's chances in the early rounds when he has the energy and he has the ability to kind of pop off the jab. But
yeah,
I think Marquez will take it.
I think he's gonna take the early rounds. I think Mike Alvarado gonna take the early rounds, but Marquez is gonna stretch his ass out, man. But he's not gonna knock him out, though. See, Marquez, he has a good punch, but it's not a good, powerful knockout punch. Just like you said earlier, he just know how to catch people with that perfect place punch that will actually knock you out, probably no matter who the fuck you are. But it's not a hard power punch. He know how to make you walk into a punch, and that's part of the momentum of knocking your ass out. You helping him knock you out by walking into the punch. That's what happened with Pacquiao. He actually ran into the shit. He got his ass knocked out, man. But hey, I found out who my boy Wood is. Hollywood. And I know it's people's. So, I ain't got too much to say about that, man, because me and the rest of his family real cool,
Y'all live down the street from each other. Y'all crazy.
I've been knowing his family, for a long time, I didn't know it, He don't know me, but he gonna find out who I am soon.
Wood, your uncle, Slug. Hey, Slug, I'm gonna take some other callers here. That's Wood is Slug uncle. Let me see. 626, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Damn, man, you ain't even give me my intro and shit.
Nah, and listen, hey, Nelta, let me tell you something. I promise you that I thought that was you, but then last week I fucked up thinking it was you, and I played your intro to some dude, total stranger. So I'm like, man, I'm not doing this shit again because this version of Skype does not allow me to freaking save the numbers like the old one when we was on Mixler. I miss Mixler, man. I miss Mixler.
Damn, shit, I miss Mixler too, because then y'all didn't hear me calling myself Nelson for some odd reason because of the fucked up voice quality.
I know, man, but I do this for the convenience for y'all because look, you guys could call in and stay on and continue to listen. It just has, and for those people that are driving home and they can't use any internet or they have low data, this is better for them to just call in and still listen to the show, man. But believe me, I miss the quality of Mixler. But talk to me, brother. What's up, man? Because you're actually very knowledgeable, so I'm excited to hear who you're gonna pick in this fight.
Well, man, I'm picking Marquez clearly. I think he's gonna beat the shit out of Alvarado. I don't think Alvarado does any single thing better than Marquez does.
But what about the size and the extra 4 pounds that Alvarado didn't have to lose?
Well, I mean, I think that'll help, I guess, a little bit. But, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think he's going to really be able to impose that size that much, to be honest. I mean, Alvarado is kind of a guy that's caught in between wanting to brawl and wanting to box, like Josito Lopez. He's not just a guy that'll go.
That's a good point. That's a real good point.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
I always got the feeling that Marquez didn't like pressure. And that's why his Pacquiao fights always were the way that they were, especially in the beginning of the fight. You know,
I wouldn't even say that he doesn't like pressure. I'd say a lot more of it had to do with just Pacquiao's sheer speed. You know, it's like he found it hard to time him because everything was coming at him so quick and randomly. So it would take him time to adjust each and every time he fought Pacquiao because Manny would give him a different look each time. But Alvarado, he pretty much gives you the same look every time he goes in there. And he does that bullshit shoulder roll where he doesn't even move his damn head.
Okay, so you got Marquez by landslide, but is it going to be a boring fight?
No, I got him by destruction. Fuck the landslide. He's going to knock Alvarado's ass out.
But so it's going to end in an exciting manner.
He's calling knockout.
Yeah, is it going to be a Klitschko knockout, or is it going to be a Matisse knockout where it's exciting the entire time?
No, I mean, I think it might be fun because the thing is, even if he's kicking Alvarado's ass, Alvarado's just going to come out swinging, going for broke.
Exactly. Yes. At some point he will. Yes. I agree.
And see, the thing is, I don't like the comparisons with Baby Bull Juan Diaz. Juan Diaz had way more head movement than Alvarado. He had way more volume. He had way quicker hands, and he would throw them in combination like nobody's business.
What? You sound like a Baby Bull fan. He was fucking that dude was weak.
What are you talking about? A few years ago, he was second only Mayweather on the CompuBox stat in terms of plus minus. How much he got hit versus how much he hit the opponent.
Yo, he was sloppy as hell. He's always been sloppy, not only in his body, but his fucking technique.
Who made Julio Diaz quit the first time? Him. Who made Ocelino Freitas quit? Him.
Yo, Baby
so you
Bull.
You can't say that he doesn't have power.
Yo, he doesn't have power. He was just relentless. He was just relentless. He doesn't have power. He wore guys down. He wore them down.
What?
He wore them down. He didn't have power.
Well, hey, he had enough power to fucking snap their head back every single round, and then eventually make them quit. They didn't want nothing to do with him. And he rocked Marquez about as bad as anybody else.
Well, I'll tell you this, Mr. Nelta. You're lucky Beltran faggot ass dipped out that fight, because he would have taught you a thing or two about your boy Baby Bull.
Oh, well, I mean, Diaz is the same fight.
I thought that was a 50-50 fight.
All that law school and bullshit, he's pretty much done.
When the fuck have you ever heard? Listen, don't let Nelta fool you about Baby Bull, because whenever you ever heard of a dude retiring at like 23 and shit.
Well, but that was strategic. He was in law school. He was in law school. He was always talking about that.
Get this last statement out so that maybe you can change your fucking mind, because you're from Texas and you don't know this shit. He retired, and Ronnie Shields refused to ever train him. That's why he retired, right? So then he tried to come back, and Ronnie Shields doesn't want to train him. That's why he's being trained by somebody else.
That was not at all what happened. I'm telling you right now. First of all, the guy's from Houston. I don't know why this is a East Coast matter. But, no, what happened...
Nelta just agreed with me, Mario. You're wrong, man.
No. He retired. That was strategic.
He wanted Diaz to become a scholar and all that. But he felt like he had better things to do than just box. And also the fact that his heart didn't seem to be in it. Like, you could tell when he fought Paulie Malignaggi. I mean, you could just tell by looking at his body, dude. The dude has the body of a bantamweight or a lightweight.
No,
That's lightweight.
Mario, what is going on with you? You act like you're in a fucking tornado over there. Hey, now, I'm going to get to some other callers really quick, brother. But since we're talking Beltran and Baby Bull Diaz, they were supposed to be fighting, but Beltran pulled out of this fight, Vic. I don't know if I like this, man. I'm not happy.
He's got new management.
Which man? He switched managers. He's not with Steven Feder anymore.
He's not with Steven Feder anymore. Who I thought he did well for him. I mean, Beltran not too long ago was just a guy on 24/7, saying thank you to Manny Pacquiao for buying me a house and shit like that. So I think he came a long way from that. And I thought this fight, it was 50-50, and I think the winner would have probably got the winner of Gamboa Crawford. So. There's rumors of a replacement fight, which I kind of like. I'm not sure if you heard. Matt Macklin might fight Korobov.
Who?
Matt Macklin might fight Kurabov, the dude from Top Rank, the left-handed middleweight.
I never heard of this guy.
Oh, dude.
What's his name?
Matt Kurabov. I think his first name is Matt too, actually.
Never heard of him.
He gave Kovalov all he could handle in the amateurs. And I know it's amateurs and shit like that, but I mean, Top Rank has been high in this guy. He's just never fought anyone. I don't know why, but they're trying to make that fight as a co-feature. I kind of like that fight, but Matt Macklin, I think, had a day to think it over because he said something about getting left-handed sparring into Spain because he is training in Spain. So, I mean, that's a kind of a trip to get some good quality, I guess, southpaw sparring.
Well, I just don't like Beltran's excuse. He said he pulled out of the fight because he didn't feel he could be ready in time. And, of course, we know it was because he didn't want to deal with that manager, but I just don't understand his decision to do that, really. This was going to be a good fight card because it was going to be on the undercard of Gamboa Garcia, which turned out to be Gamboa Crawford, which is still a good fight, and it's on HBO. Now, I don't get it. I don't get Beltran. And it's like you said, he was just on ESPN. Like, come on. He just got robbed over there in UK. Like, he could easily be shelved. I don't even understand this. 503, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where are you calling from? All right. He clearly is busy.
Introducing the hard-hitting ringside Robbie.
Good evening, guys. I'm a little late, but I'm here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Beltran in one of the fights on the Timothy Bradley Manny Pacquiao undercard?
Yes, he was.
Okay, I thought so. So, April 12th to June 21st. Don't these fighters stay in shape when they're not fighting? I don't buy his excuse.
I don't buy it either. I mean, fighters of the olden days used to fight every fucking 4 weeks. You know, even less than that.
Yeah. No, and that's plenty of time to be ready for a fight. Well, he just messed up his career. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I read in one of the newspapers that I checked out yesterday that Carlos Molina has officially signed with Al Heyman.
Yes. That is true.
So, but the article also said he's not going to be allowed to leave Mexico. So I guess any title defenses he has in the near future will be in Mexico. So do you think we'll get the Charlo fight in Mexico?
Possibly. I mean, one name I could think of that might be humongous. I mean, Canelo fight in Mexico in November.
Oh, you mean Canelo going after Molina's title instead of taking the Charlo fight, Vic?
Yeah, I mean, if he signed to Al Heyman, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Charlo was going to fight him in Vegas. I'm sure Charlo wouldn't mind going to Mexico. But I'm just thinking, you know, how big a fight, you know, Canelo on pay-per-view would be, and him fighting in Mexico.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I agree with what everybody's saying about Alvarado and Marquez, but I want to remind those of you, he is 55-7-1, and he does have 40 knockouts. So, you know, he does not have the one-punch knockout capability, unlike what everybody saw with Pacquiao. But he does have 40 knockouts, so he does know how to put people away. You know, it takes him longer, but you don't have 40 knockouts in 55 wins unless you know what you're doing. So keep that in mind. I am picking Marquez to thoroughly beat Mike Alvarado.
I think a lot of people are picking that.
Well, don't care for Alvarado, especially when he comes on a show like this and doesn't take it seriously. I mean, Ness and whoever else was on the panel that day asked him questions, and you know, he was too stoned to care about his interview.
I think he did well, man. I think he answered the questions. He's just, you know, he was happy, man, I guess.
Alvarado reminds me of Brandon Rios. No wonder why they were able to have two good fights. They fight similarly, so I think Marquez is going to have a relatively easy time with it. But I disagree with James. I don't think it's going to be boring because I think in the early rounds that's when Mike Alvarado is going to have his shot. If Mike Alvarado is going to win the fight, it's going to be within the first 3 rounds. After that, he's got no chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm leaning towards Marquez, but I'll make my official pick later on in the evening. Robbie, I'm going to place you on mute. Get to some other callers here. 714, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yo, what up? That's Javier from Anaheim.
Javier, what up, brother?
Yo, I had a few questions. First of all, I think, Marquez is going to he's going to fuck up Alvarado. But one of my questions was directed to you and Vic. If he does win, where does he go from there? And my second question is, do you guys think that Ruslan actually ducked Rios? And that's pretty much all I got.
Well, Ruslan didn't duck Rios. Ruslan wanted to fight Rios at 140, and pretty much everyone aside from Brandon Rios feels like he can't make 140. And Ruslan does have the belt, so he is a champion. So if Brandon Rios wants to fight him, then, 140 it is. And as far as Marquez, I mean, shit. If Marquez wins, I want him to fight Ruslan Provodnikov. That's my take on it.
Do you think it's a beatable fight for him?
I think it's a very tough fight. But it's a fight. I mean, if Marquez still wants to keep fighting and he wants to prove that he's still great, I mean, do we really want to see a Pacquiao fifth fight? I would rather a Provodnikov fight. But, obviously the Pacquiao fight is a lot more money. But is he going to go to Macau for that? That's another question. I mean, I don't think Marquez is going to Macau unless it's, double digits in his offer. Double-digit $1 million offer, I mean.
Well, all right, fellas. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Well, before we get to some other callers, Vic, I wanted to talk about the Areola Stavern again, man, because this thing did well. So, a big congrats to everybody that watched it, man, because basically we did it. We wanted this to do good. Everybody tuned in. They had to. I believe it broke over 1 million, right? Vic, it was a point there was 940,000 people watching, right? Vic?
Yeah, I'm muting myself. Sorry. Well, I think it peaked at 1 million and change. It did a 0.8 rating, which means 940,000, I guess, average viewers. The number we heard for ESPN to consider doing this again was between 900,000 and 1 million. So, it kind of hurt because it didn't reach the 10 o'clock hour because a lot of people in sports, 10 o'clock's that time. But even though it was supposed to end before 10, but I think it did a good number. Hopefully we get more shit like this, man. I mean, imagine if ESPN promoted this. Like, I didn't see, I watch all sports, so I was watching the NBA playoffs, I was watching baseball. I didn't see shit about, heavyweight, even though it's not for the real title, the real heavyweight crown is for a piece of the heavyweight crown. And there wasn't shit on ESPN for, I guess the day before when they did the weigh-in, that's about all ESPN did to promote this fight.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And you watch other sports, like you said. Was there anything like on SportsCenter or something like that? Were they at least doing that?
Nah.
Wow.
The only thing I seen was when they did the weigh-in. They did the weigh-in on Friday. They cut into SportsCenter, and they get like a little fucking 5-10 minutes on it, and that was it.
They showed highlights on the West Coast feed or the SportsCenter LA, like at I mean, they could have shown him earlier after the playoff game, but I don't know. I didn't see it, but they showed highlights like around 2:30 in the morning, maybe. It was brief, but at the same time, there was the most exciting parts of the fight. And I agree with Vic completely, man. Like, they want to talk about, like, oh, this was their chance to kind of test the waters. They want to dip their foot in. But it's like, if you're not going to go through the efforts of actually giving it a chance, then how can you really base it? I mean, they wanted this fight to sell all by itself. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they wanted. They wanted it to be like a Pacquiao-Floyd Mayweather type of fight, where it's like, we just got to tell you who's fighting, and everyone else is going to do the rest. I mean, you got to put in the legwork. I mean, you got to kind of, if you're going to make the bold type of actions like a promoter, then you got to play that role to a certain extent. I thought the number was great. I really did. I thought the number was a very good number. I thought it was solid. If it peaked around 9-something, and it averaged, I think it was a 0.7, then, at the end of the day, or 0.07, I guess, you gotta believe that there's room for growth. I think you gotta see that there is an exciting fan base that, can watch ESPN, that is simultaneously interested enough in boxing. I don't think there were nothing but hardcore fans. I think there were casual fans, even people that turned on the game. I knew a lot of people that called me, hey, who's boxing on ESPN tonight? They had the game on a little, I think an hour early. The Spurs were playing, and they got to catch a fight. That was great. That was awesome, and they loved it, man. They loved it. They were like, hey, man, tell me when this guy's fighting Klitschko. Tell me when this guy's fighting again. And that right there, I mean, it was exciting, and only ESPN can kind of provide that, that kind of outflow towards the casual fan.
Man, I don't know.
I think they could have done a better job. I mean, with people watching, baseball, I'm not sure how many NBA playoffs games they had on their air. I know ABC had a few on Sunday. ABC and ESPN are pretty much ABC, I guess, Disney, all that shit are the same thing. Yeah. A 20-second commercial, whatever that number they do on Sunday, 12, 13 million people watching, the NBA playoffs would have helped.
Definitely.
I don't know. I don't think this is all bad because it did well. So it was like, they got a pass. But now they know what they need to do better. So I don't think it's all bad. You know what I mean? Because like you said, I agree. There wasn't enough promotion and stuff like that. But at least now they know, look, we pulled in 940 and we fucking half-assed it. Let's go full force now.
Well said.
Let's take it to the streets, man. I think this might be my boy Antonio from Albany. 718, you're live.
Hey, guys, what's going on? Antonio from Albany. I know you just said that. I know.
What up, brother?
So, hey, not much, man. I just wanted to talk about this upcoming fight this weekend, man. I feel like I'm going for Alvarado, man. As much as he's gonna be high this weekend, man, I feel like he's gonna be hungry for that win, man. I mean, I feel like he's gonna box all night, man. I feel like he got this, And I just wanna see what your thoughts are if he does win. I mean, what's next for him? I mean, eventually he might fight Pacquiao, after the win, and hopefully in September or November, whatever it is. And then also, what do you guys think about tomorrow's fights? We got Joel Diaz Jr. We also got Frank Galarza tomorrow night, man. What do you guys think about those fights?
Well, hold on. Let me straighten this out. Did you say you are going for Alvarado, or you think Alvarado's going to win, or both?
Well, I think he could box Marquez off,
Oh, okay. Well, you're the first one today.
Has issues with boxing sometimes,
Yeah, no, and I agree. I think it's a lot closer than most people maybe assume. And that's not fair. At least closer than some people that have called in so far, and even James have said. I do agree with you that he's capable of doing a lot of things in this fight. Supposedly he's taking training a lot more serious, which I always hate stories like this. But, for the Provodnikov fight, a lot of things surfaced the week before and even a few weeks after in terms of how he was preparing himself. I mean, I think most people by now know that he's a guy who tends to have a lax training camp, and that's just say the least. I think that's putting it respectfully. But if he comes in I think that, it could be a plus side for sure. I mean, it's a plus side for anybody, but especially for a guy like Alvarado, who tends to weaken sometimes. And that's not fair. He's gotten strong as the fight goes on as well. But at least in the Provodnikov fight, it seemed to be he had enough. And James alluded to the fact, like, he gets on the inside when he gets tired, and that takes away from his game plan.
I don't know I don't know if I believe that whole he didn't take training seriously. Like, he had just won his first world title. Like, he just beat
off of the guy Brandon Rios, who we all know doesn't take training camp seriously.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. Like, he was coming off a high in his career. You want me to believe that his very next fight he didn't take seriously when he already seen what the fuck happened to Bradley? Hell no. That's an excuse they're making to revive that motherfucker. He got that ass beat, and he was 100%. I don't give a fuck what they were saying, what was out there. I don't care if he came into the ring high. That ain't had shit to do with it.
I don't know. You guys think Marquez can bring the fight to Alvarado though, like Ruslan did and Rios? I don't think he can. He doesn't have that type of style.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to, Antonio. He doesn't need to because Alvarado's gonna come to Marquez.
That's
Alvarado's
what I'm saying.
not no fucking
we all
boxer.
know that.
People get that shit confused. That shit pisses me off. He's not no fucking boxer. He always ends up slugging it. Always.
Well, yeah, but I would say he's a better boxer.
What fight has he ever won where he outboxed somebody without slugging it out?
No. That's a fair point. But I would say, like, you could look at a guy like Alvarado throughout his career. I could show somebody who knows boxing, kind of highlights through his last, 10 fights. And they could easily say, oh, this guy's a slugger. And that's fine, whatever. Some people agree, some people don't. But of the sluggers or of the people that have a tendency to slug it out in a fight, he has a higher than normal boxing capability. You have to agree with that, right? Compared to your guys like Brandon Rios, like your prototypical sluggers, he boxes better than a lot of those guys. I mean, he was outboxing Provodnikov early in that fight, and he came back and he, with boxing, as his main tool, did redeem himself against Rios.
He has too many flaws, and that's what Marquez is
capitalize on. No, of course he does. Yeah.
My question to you, Nestor, what if he wins this Saturday? I mean, what do you think is up next for him? You think he should take that Pacquiao fight and just retire? I mean, that's what I think.
Who wins, Marquez?
No, Alvarado.
No, if Alvarado wins.
Well, if Alvarado wins, you know what's next. Pacquiao. It's obvious, man. They ain't got nothing over there. They ain't got nothing over there. They're going to give him Pacquiao or they're going to give him Bradley. But, of course, they're going to give him Pacquiao. It's going to make more money.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't even think it's going to be a pay-per-view fight, man. I mean, I won't buy that shit if it does happen, I just don't get it.
I mean, if he starches...
Coming up with Pacquiao, they're not pay-per-view, worthy, None of them coming up. Except for Marquez, Pacquiao,
Now, look at what Antonio just said, Mario.
Yeah.
To spin away from this fucking topic, look at what he just said. He just said that none of those Pacquiao fights are pay-per-view worthy. And people were dogging the Maidana fight. They were dogging that shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good point right there. And that's, if Alvarado can starch Marquez, then I can't see why it wouldn't be a pay-per-view. I mean, Mike Alvarado has come in and he's done things the hard way, but
he has no chance. No chance.
I'm just saying.
Rios, I don't even. Did Rios?
We're talking in hypotheticals. Did he what?
I said. Did Rios even land a punch
in the second fight?
No, on the Pacquiao fight.
Oh, man, I don't think he did. If he did, it was like a couple of days earlier in that skirmish. But I mean, you can look at the hypotheticalness of the fight, and Bradley didn't earn Pacquiao simply by beating Marquez, but it helped. I think Alvarado can earn Pacquiao in the exact same kind of way. But to me, it's unfair. I mean, just like you just said with the Maidana. How am I wrong?
Bradley earned the Pacquiao shot by beating Casamayor. Because he didn't beat Marquez till afterwards. Robert Ortiz, you're live.
That's a good one.
Can you hear me?
We hear you if you talk.
Cool. I didn't hear the lady say unmuted or whatever. I actually wanted to go back to that Severn Areola
She went
thing
out for
and,
coffee, man. She went out for coffee.
oh, she did.
Yeah,
Interesting.
she's on a coffee run.
But no, I wanted to go back to the Severn Areola fight, man, because you guys talked a bit about the success of that show, and I gotta say, I mean, I'm in the middle of the road right now. I'm getting close to halfway through my tour, and usually my guys that are in my band and stuff, they're just drinkers and they like to go chase girls and stuff. They really don't give two shits about sports. But they know I'm obsessed with boxing, so they knew I had a fight to watch, and they knew the TV was all mine. And I gotta tell you, man, the excitement these guys had over watching a heavyweight fight, it really is, the holy grail of boxing is the heavyweight division, man, because when they see Floyd Mayweather, they say, I can beat that guy's ass. But when you see big-ass Severn and Areola, they're like, I don't want to fuck with them. They'll kill me. And so they were excited. And then when it turned into being, an exciting fight, man, everyone was, like, cheering and shit. And I told everybody, Areola's going to lose, but you're gonna be a fan of him. And that's exactly what happened. Everyone was rooting for Areola because they liked his style. They liked that he was a brawler. And when he got knocked out, everyone had that oh shit moment. And, it was on ESPN. And it was
Rob,
free. And it was.
Rob, let's not forget that ESPN basically ran advertisements about Areola. I mean, that's who they wanted to win the fight.
Yeah, it was clearly biased, man. There's no doubt. It actually really pissed me off because I'm a fan of Areola just because, when I first started getting obsessed with boxing, he was on the come up and I loved his style. But, it's just not fair. They clearly had their money invested in one guy and really wanted him to win, and there's a reason for that because Areola's exciting and he's got a mouth, he'll sell a fight. And as you said last week or on Sunday, James, this Severn does not know how to. He's the worst interviewer ever. Period.
Horrible,
so but it was cool to have a bunch of casual fans who were actually not even casual sports fans be excited about a fight, and the fact that it was free and everything. I'm glad that ESPN did that. I hope they invest in the future. I hope that Severn doesn't chase the Vladimir fight, because that's going to be boring, and he's going to lose.
Well, Rob, since you brought that up.
The Segway King?
Yeah, since you brought it up, where is it? Something about...
Oh, come on, dude.
Oh, yes. There's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, Klitschko-Severn. And last show, I was so sure that the WBC was going to say yes because they'll get a bigger sanctioning fee. They charge a percentage. If the fight or the purses are more, they get a bigger cut. Simple. But remember that Jose Suleiman passed away. Rest in peace, because he did do some good things. But his son, Mauricio Suleiman, is now in charge, and Mauricio said no. He said that the agreements must be respected. A direct quote. We made that decision at the last convention, and Deontay Wilder is the mandatory challenger. So Bermain, is it Bermain or Bermer? I don't know, whatever. Bermain has to face first WBC.
It's Berman.
It's him first.
Berman.
That, of course, the WBC president now, Mauricio Suleiman. So that's very interesting. And I'm actually excited because I knew what was going to happen in a Klitschko-Severn fight. While I would have been rooting for Severn to do some, Corey Sanders type-ish. What's the other black guy that beat him up? Because he always loses to slick fighters. But that was back in the day. This guy learned how to box very well now. So I was kind of rooting for Severn. But if Severn could take care of a Wilder who's tall and strong, nowhere near as skilled as a Klitschko, but if he could get through that test, then maybe he does have a shot at a Klitschko. And why not let Klitschko get however many months older so that when you do get him, you got him at the right time.
Well, I would like to see Eden fight, but Don King said that Severn could take an optional defense, which is contrary to what the WBC has said and ordered. He talked about him around the moving somewhere around the world for a defense against and opponents he didn't name. So maybe going on the road and traveling, and I hope not. I really do, because Severn and Rob hit this on the he hit this on the nail. The fact is that the reason why those two fights were so fun is because their styles meshed well, but it primarily fell on the side of Areola. Areola was just, I guess, neglectful enough. I don't really want to say anything bad about him because he had a lot of heart, but I guess dumb enough, I guess, to do what he did and continue to kind of fight that same path and fall victim to that right hand repeatedly. I don't even think that thing missed. And Severn was comfortable enough to take whatever shots he could because he knew he had them. We're not going to see the same thing, though. The Severn's peak curiosity right now is at an all-time high with casual fans. Okay, thanks to ESPN. Rob's story again nailed it as far as where Severn is right now. Even if it isn't that much, but it's indicative of where he could potentially go. If he bounces around the heavyweight division, fighting guys no one's ever heard of for the next couple of fights, or at least to ride out the next year and a half, it's going to be a huge mistake. He really needs to capitalize. It's his only way, and if he loses, well, then he was never destined to be the great heavyweight to dethrone Klitschko, which I don't believe he is anyway.
Yeah, well, as far as him taking a trip around the world, making these bogus-ass defenses versus fighters, they didn't even bother to mention, it's not possible because that Mauricio Suleiman said what he said, and he's going to do what he does. Rob,
that makes me glad, too, man. I'm really glad to hear that. And truthfully, I've kind of criticized the WBC. I've commented on some of their tweets about this vacant title because, truthfully, Vladimir, why did he not get the first shot at it? He's clearly the best heavyweight in the whole fucking world. Why didn't he get a shot, But with that said, I'm glad because, as we all know, Vladimir is he's on some other fucking level, man, knows how to use his height, and this just makes it a lot more entertaining. It definitely does, because now it's a 50-50 fight to me, whereas it'd be a 99-1 fight for me. So I'm very glad to hear that, man.
So, you're like a super Marquez fan. Did you go ahead and make your pick already, or am I like having relapses?
I didn't make it just yet, but I'll go ahead and make it now. I'm going to pick Marquez to win. I didn't pick him to beat Bradley. I picked Bradley, but I think this fight, dude, if Alvarado tries to box with him, dude, he's going to get outboxed. And I think Marquez tends to hit just a little harder. Like, his punches are sharper. And I think Alvarado is just a perfect style matchup for Marquez. Just comes in and just enough to be able to counter and not, skilled enough to be able to avoid Marquez's counters. So, I just really, I guess I could see him winning, but I give him a very, very small chance. I'm picking comfortably Marquez for this fight by, I'm going to say, like a 10th round stoppage. And also, given the Ruslan fight, you got to put that in the equation. And he got fucked up, man. So I give it a 10-round knockout to Marquez.
Yeah, well, 10-round knockout. That's two people picking knockout. That is strange. Rob, you want to stay on? I'm gonna bring in some other callers. 901. You're live on the Boxing Voice. 901.
Oh, what's up, Kimbo?
What up?
Man, is that Mario, dog?
That's Mario. Your boy.
Man, Mario look like Von Cage off of Mike Tyson Punch Out. On the second guy you fight on Mike Tyson Punch Out.
That's a good one.
Man, I like it. What's up, Mario? Long time no see, hear from, or whatever the hell you want to say. But
I know, man.
man, that shit was so funny. Last week, man, with Wood and you, dog, man, I was laughing at work the whole week with this shit. That shit was talking about when dude invited you over to his house. You know what I'm talking about, this?
Say what?
You know what I'm talking about? You know, Wood was fucking with you about, what dude named Real Talk?
Yeah.
Man, I was laughing hard as a motherfucker, dog. That man had me crying at work the other day. I was laughing the whole week when he said, man, you come watch that shit with me, man. That shit was funny as hell, dog. Ness was like, no, I can't do that, player. Well, I ain't want shit, dog. Keep it up with the good work, man. I put the review in, too, Ness. He ain't never said shit, though.
You didn't use the same name. You ain't use Kinfolk.
No, I didn't. I used Pluck that time.
Pluck? I'm gonna check. I ain't see that. I'm gonna check it, and then I'll definitely shout you out, man. Thank you though.
I'll let your boy, man.
For sure. 347 live on the Box of Voice. Who's this?
Yeah, what up, Ness? It's Gil, man. What's up to everybody, man? What's up, Mario? Welcome back, brother. Nice to see you. Nice to hear from you, man.
Thanks, man. Yo, Gil, don't be coming on here trying to be...
Nah, I'm not even going to get at you, my nigga. Why you be scared? You see, this is the problem. I call in. I want to talk some boxing. I got a lot of points to make. I want us to discuss things intelligently. We're gonna add quality to the show. If you get then you're gonna have to force me to attack you because I'm gonna smell the fear. I'm an animal.
Yo, don't be coming on here trying to be civilized. Fuck out of here. Last time we talked, we was on Twitter beefing. I don't even remember what it was about. So whatever you talk about today, you better make good points or I'm fucking ripping you.
Wow. All right. I'll tell you what we were talking about at the end, but I didn't call to spank you. Don't worry, my nigga. Where the fuck is Habib? That's my first question. That nigga got 12 fights wrong in a row, and he disappeared. I just want to make sure you at least in touch with him and he's alive.
Yo, Beeb is ducking the show. He got them death threats. No. He got those death threats. And me and James just got one live on the last show, but Beeb has been getting them via email and everything. He said he's done. He's not coming back. He said he's got to beef up security.
I'm going to tell you something about that. I was extremely shocked about it, and I really hope that there's nobody out there stupid enough like to try to take shit like serious enough to like do something stupid to like any of you guys. You know what I mean? We do this. You know, I'm going to go tomorrow and cover the fight in Connecticut. But all of us, whoever does whatever we do as part of the Boxing Voice, we do it because, you know, it's a platform for all of us to talk and shit. And, you know, whoever's offended, don't listen to the show. You know what I'm saying? You don't like Nas. I don't know, man. I really, that's a bad vibe. I didn't know it was that serious. I wasn't even going to touch on that because I you know, whatever. I didn't like the way that went down. But tell Beeb that I understand. And, you know, we'll talk about that at some other time, you know. But I wanted to also talk about tomorrow's fights. Damn, that's crazy, Nas. Tomorrow's fights we got, and I'm bringing Jose into this conversation because Jose got a big mouth and he beat me last time on the Canelo Angulo, and we got Delvin Rodriguez facing a fucking Canadian undefeated kid. We got Frankie Galarza facing another Canadian undefeated kid. And we got Joe Diaz Jr. facing a Canadian. I want that nigga to put his money where his mouth is. Nigga put $4,000 on Victor Ortiz in January and lost it. You got 3 Canadians, bums, fighting a Boricua, a Dominican, and a Mexicano. And I want to see whether or not he's willing to step up behind his people. So I wanted to make that point. And I got the Khan issue. That's the only thing I got to really talk to you about, and that's Khan.
Oh, God.
I can't believe you're not giving that man any credit.
Yo, some way or another, this dude gets brought up every show. I thought we was going to get
I bring him up, you know why? Because we have to. And anybody else feels the same way, continue to call in and give him that shit. Because Nesta, look, I'm not his biggest fan, but he beat the shit out of my man Louis. I mean, I felt bad for Louis. And you talking about he was running the whole night. That 10th round, when he dropped him twice, when he could beat the shit out of his body, he fucking make Louis crumple. It was sad. It was like an old man in there and shit almost. And Louis not old, you know. Louis lives a clean life, man. He's a good dude. He's a tough motherfucker. So when I seen him going down like that, you know Khan was giving him the business. All I'm calling you to tell you, Ness, is as advice. You're my boy. I love the show. I love you guys. Victor's my boy. We spent time together. And stop hating on Khan, man. Just give him his credit where it's due. Stop. I know you called him a bum a long time ago, and you like to stick by your fucking guns because they don't go on who. But, yo, give him his props because you're going to look good in the long run. I'm telling you. The kid is not as bad as you think, man.
No. Let me just rebuttal to that. If he crushed Louis, if he destroyed Louis, while Louis was getting up off the floor, chasing Khan down, chasing him down.
Not in that 10th round. That 10th round, he was running like a bitch. When it ended, Louis was against the ropes. I mean, most of the fight, he did chase Khan down. But like Wood said, like whenever he called, Wood is an excellent caller, by the way. I love Wood, man. He's great. He told you, man, if you got knocked out a couple of times, Ness, you be jittery ass yourself. You be fighting scared like a little fucking kangaroo. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what he has to do to survive. That's what he has to do to survive. The nigga still got skills, though. You can't deny that. He beat the shit out of Louis Colazo.
That's my problem, though. How you going to say a guy got skills, but he always has to survive? Why can't he just
how the fuck
win?
is that scraping by? He beat the shit out of Louis, and that's my boy.
I didn't say
pick Louis.
Gil, I didn't say scraping by. I said if the guy is so skilled and he gets all this fucking fame and hype, why does he always have to survive? Not
survive. I understand. Oh, well, because he has an extremely fragile chin, to answer your question. That's not his fault. You know, it is what it is. That's genetics. But you know, at the end of the day, he makes good with what he's got.
Gil,
you know?
You're overlooking the key point. You're blaming it on the chin. It's not the chin, because if you had defense, they can't touch your chin. It's his flaws that you guys want to overlook because he's a little flashy here and there. But the minute there's some pressure applied, this
Can I say one thing, and then I'm going to have one more
flying
point.
around the ring.
I'm going to have one more point, and I'm going to let you go. I'm going to rebuttal to that by telling you this. Even Mayweather and Pernell Whitaker, the greatest defensive geniuses, and Wilfredo Benitez got hit. So, you know, Khan has never been a defensive fighter. He's always been an offensive fighter, explosive, fast. And that's his game, and he's been too ballsy for his own chin, and it's cost him. But he's still an incredible talent. He's very good, and I like the fact that he has balls. Okay, he fucking fights whoever the fuck you put in front of him. And I'm gonna give you my list. You was asking last week who could he beat at 147. He could fucking beat Victor Ortiz, Robert Guerrero, Diego Chavez, Juan Manuel Marquez, Andre Berto, Soto Coraz, Alexander, fucking Brooke, and I'd probably even pick him over Porter. So I don't even know why you was trying to. Yep, you heard my list.
No.
You're fucking crazy, dude. You're crazy.
You heard my list.
I think he could be competitive against Porter.
With Brona against Matisse, is that happening?
I hope.
What have you heard? Do we have anything concrete?
No. Unless Vic got something.
I don't got anything on that front.
You ain't got nothing on that? All right. I'm going to go tomorrow, like I said. I wanted to just make those points. Maybe Jose could get on and back his Canadian bum-ass.
Yo, you ducked me, too. You fucking ducked me.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'm not ducking you. What I told you on Twitter was actually you was on Twitter after you fucking won
I'm not even talking about that.
Severn over Areola, and when you lose, your ass be MIA. That's all I said. Simple and plain. And it's the truth, so whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, how the fuck am I hiding when I'm on the show twice a fucking week for 3 hours, dog?
And we love it. I love it. I'm glad that you do that, and you continue to do that. And fuck the death threats, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you know, niggas just, you know, show your face. You know what I'm saying? You got balls to fucking give people death threats and shit. Show your faces, man. But that, if not, just don't listen to the show. Mind your own fucking business. But we deep anyway, so it don't fucking matter. And at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. But go ahead, Ness.
I was just going to tell you that that's not what I was talking about anyway. I'm talking about you duck me. You ain't give me a day to meet up with you to give you the camera, and you about to go fucking to that.
Nigga, I got, yo, they said no video cameras. You got a fucking panoramic, fucking $5,000 Sony NBC camera, nigga. I got a little joint, son. I'm going to go in there with a little joint, because you can't bring the big video cameras in. It says
you know how many times we've been there?
But I got it. I promise you. This time, I don't come through, so you don't call me a fucking part-time nigga.
But
Gil, let me just tell you something.
That's that, my niggas. I wanted to kick it with y'all for a little bit. You know I love all y'all. What's up, Vic? What you doing? You still going to Vegas or what?
Yo, you having personal conversations. We got callers we got to get to, and I want to tell you,
Daddy, I love you. I'll talk to you later, baby.
Oh my God, I'm gonna tell the world anyway because he don't want to let me get it out. Fucking that venue, it always says that you can bring the camera. You cannot press record where the fight is at. That's
you just can't record the fight. That's all.
Yeah, me and Vic have done interviews right on the floor. Anyway, Wood, everybody's favorite fucking caller, Baltimore in the building. Fuck Stringer Bell. I'm an Avon fan. What up?
Yo, what's going on, yo?
Talk to me, man.
Man, that damn Stavern, that nigga got to get beat, man. He just, I don't know what's up with this motherfucker, man. He born as shit. He just don't know how to talk. He just fucked up. I just want somebody to beat this motherfucker up, get the belt out of his hands.
Yo, why does it matter that he's boring outside the ring? In the ring, he's knocking niggas out for you.
Man, it just ain't good TV, man. I don't know, man. I just don't. There's something about this motherfucker, man. I just don't like him, man. I'd rather seen the Mexican dude whip his ass, man. Get him out of there, man.
Yo, why you off your Broner shit? Why you off your Broner shit like you don't know Areola's name?
I know Areola, man. I'm just saying. Hey, man, look. I found your boy, man, Slug, man.
Oh my God, y'all both calling in about the same thing. Yo, I just want the world to know that you guys are next door neighbors. Cause I don't understand why y'all don't just knock on each other's door and talk this shit out. Why y'all do it on the show?
Man, cause he don't have a door. The motherfucker homeless. That's why.
But he got a phone to call in every. Come on, boy, knock it off.
Yo, all bums got cell phones and shit, man. All bums and shit got cell phones and no houses. You know how that shit go. Welfare get them phones out. He got that phone. He probably got that phone from the welfare and shit.
What? I gotta put you on topic, man. Give me your pick for Mike Alvarado versus Juan Manuel Marquez.
Marquez gonna beat him because that dude stay high all the time, man. He dude stay high too much, man. Marquez in shape. Plus Marquez probably take some extra shit on top of that too.
Yeah, because Vic did a search, by the way.
His little ass got built this shit, man. His little ass got too fucking built, man. Your body don't get better when you get old. It breaks down. This motherfucker body get better and shit. So he gonna go in there, and that dude start fighting wild too. If things don't go his way, he can't keep his composure. He start fighting a little crazy and shit. So he gonna do something stupid, and Marquez. I'm not saying Marquez gonna knock him out, but Marquez gonna beat that fight, man. He just a better boxer, and that's where I'm gonna put my money at with the better boxing, because it is boxing and shit. So I'm gonna put my money with the boxer, and tell your boy stop carrying that sign around here. Work for beer.
Man, get out of here, Wood. Good. Thanks for calling in, brother.
All right, yo.
Man, yo, Wood is crazy. Wood and Slug, man. So, one of the callers touched on Carlos Molina signing Al Heyman. This seemed inevitable. I knew that this would happen, especially when I seen that he was going to fight one of the Charlo brothers. I figured it would happen after if Molina would have beat that Charlo, but Molina, 30 years old. He's from Mexico, but lived here in Chicago. Hopes that signing with Heyman, the most powerful advisor in boxing, will open up the doors for him and help him get in the situation, get his situation all straightened out. But Vic, let's think into the future here. Let's assume that Molina, 33, with 5 losses, 19 knockouts, faced everybody from Chavez twice to Laura, fucking K9. Man, who else is this guy for? He's fought everybody, though. That's for sure. Everybody's fought. He's fought a lot of guys. But you think that signing with Heyman, if they are able to fix this situation, and again, this is clearly hypothetical, but if they're able to fix this visa situation, they could get him back here in the States. You think they could clean him up nice enough to make that a Mayweather opponent?
I was thinking more Canelo than Mayweather.
So, I guess, right? I mean, that's where you can get your fighter the most money, and you would get a bigger percentage. I guess you're right, but so are you saying you're picking Canelo because you don't think Lord's gonna win?
I'm leaning towards Canelo right now. I mean, I don't know. I gotta see when it gets closer to the real moment.
Oh my God, you let it down.
But I think win or lose. I mean, even if he loses, I mean that gives him even more of a chance. I think because he becomes less of a commodity. I mean, not by like a large degree, but he becomes a lesser commodity to the point where it gives more opponents better chances. I think, and he's in a good position right now.
Well, Molina says he expects to be ready to fight again in either June or July. He does have a mandatory defense due against, I don't know how this guy's always number one, but K9 Bundridge is number one. He won an eliminator fight versus Joey Hernandez on January 24th, and that's how he became the number one mandatory challenger again. But Molina on Wednesday requested an exception from the IBF in order to reschedule the optional defense against Charlo, 18-0, 14 knockouts. And guess who's he signed by? Al Heyman. It's possible that Molina's next fight could take place in Mexico if he's not resolved his immigration issues. If he does, he'll be back fighting here in the U.S.
Well, I
hope it gets resolved.
I mean,
too, man. I feel bad for him because, this is the guy that came up the hard way. We all know he's always been brought in as an opponent. Arguably, he beat Chavez twice. Arguably, he beat Laura. He finally wins his title, and then he goes to jail. And now he's, like, basically deported until he can fix his shit. So it sucks to be him right now. And the Charlo fight would have been the highest money fight of his career, and I think that was only, like, what, $250, right, Vic?
I think it was $250. I'm not sure, but it was it was a six-figure payday. I think it might have been $350 actually. It could have been $350. But yeah, it sucked. I mean, it happened when it happened. Charlo lost a title shot, But hey, we move on, man. I mean, he signed with Al Heyman, so fuck. I mean, good things or good fights or good money has to come his way.
Who got fucked up like that, Vic? It was Angulo, wasn't it? That had all those visa issues when he was
Angulo, yep.
Right? And that sucks, man. It just kills the fighter's momentum, and then they're out, and it's like, I mean, it's kind of the same thing that happens with these contract negotiations and people trying to get out of their contract, like Ward and Garcia, but they do it to themselves. So it's like hard to have sympathy for them. But you got to empathize with someone like Molina, who, like Ness said, he comes up the hard way, and then gets fucked up on these visa issues and jail, and it's just like, man, these dudes are trying to make a living, man. They're trying to make a living the way they know how, and the best way they can for their family and for themselves. And it's like, any kind of momentum they have to roll with it. And you fuck with them, and it's like, dude, what do they got left to do, man? It's I don't know, bullshit, I think.
Well, staying on that sad topic, or that same sad vibe, we should all be sad because thanks to Vic's peoples, Miguel Cotto, Puerto Rican, and Papito, Wilfredo Vasquez, he's going to be fighting Martin Sonoa on June 7th. And this is part of a pay-per-view undercard. And also on this garbage card is Yuri Foreman. Now, I don't even understand. Like, I know that Lou DiBella wanted Andy Lee and Willie Nelson, Vic. That shit fell through. So why are you taking Andy Lee off?
No, Andy Lee's on it. He's facing one of the Jackson brothers. Michael, Tito, one of them niggas. I don't know.
Julian Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson. But no, because Andy Lee is facing Julian Jackson, and Yuri Foreman is facing George Melendez. I mean, this is just a bullshit undercard. This is bullshit. Because why didn't they at least give us Andy Lee versus Matthew Macklin?
Or they could have just switched Gale fucking Macklin, put it on there.
Garbage, yo. Fucking.
Well, I mean, you can't. You can say what you want, but this is. I mean, this isn't even a top rank undercard, dude. Cotto had a card. DeBella had a card, and Sampson had a card.
Yeah, I didn't mention top rank. I said Cotto.
Yeah, it's a bullshit card. I mean, Sansona WV2 will probably be a good fight. Their first fight was pretty good, but it's a rematch.
At this point, Vic, why do we even care about Vasquez? When's the last time he got a win?
I mean, it's a bullshit fucking undercard. I mean, you won't catch me in that arena till like the second to last fight.
Yo, this fight is only big to me because so many of my friends are coming over here. You know, you got a Matt coming from Ohio. You got James and his wife coming down from Phoenix. You know, and of course you're going to be in New York City for this fight. We're all going to meet up. But other than that, and of course Cotto Martinez, like that's huge to me. I love this fight. No matter how old one guy is, how shop worn I think another guy is, no matter about the injuries, I like this fight. I really like this fight. I'm glad I'm going to be there live. But this undercard is a disgrace. This is absolute bullshit. Let me go back to Nelson. He called back in. Nelson, what's up?
Yo, man, how you gonna shit on Sansona versus Vasquez? This is a good fight.
Yo, how many fights has Vasquez lost consecutively? Were you up in the morning watching him fight that Japanese dude that he got starched over there in Macau? Didn't he get starched in Macau?
I don't remember him getting knocked out. I believe he lost the decision.
Come on, look, man, this dude, like, I don't even understand. I don't know. I think the only fight that I would has him and Lopez fought yet, Vic?
No, they can never agree on a weight. They can never agree on anything.
That's the only fight that I would be like okay to watch because I know they had long beef.
Now, one man's trying to fight Arce now.
Yo, he's fighting Francisco Vargas first, right? Isn't he fighting Vargas on the Canelo undercard?
Yeah. That one's already made, But Francisco Vargas is gonna beat his ass too.
Speaking of Wama and Vasquez and so there's something I wanted to bring up. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys this bullshit. For anybody that uses this show for informative purposes, fix your earbuds because what you're about to hear is the absolute truth. Abner Mares is now being trained by the one, the only trainer of the year, probably the greatest trainer in all of boxing.
Let those strong hands go, dog. Let those gifted hands go. Let me see you be great tonight. Be great tonight for me. Be great tonight.
The spokesman himself, because this guy's like a public speaker in that corner. Abner Mares is going to be trained by Virgil Hunter now, Vic, and he's not going to even be ready for his June 1st fight because he says that he wants to take time because he's changing trainers and he needs to mesh with the new cornerman, Virgil Hunter. So now he's not even fighting on the 21st. Now, I don't understand what was Abner Mares seeing that made him want to be trained by Virgil Hunter because I have nothing against Hunter, but we're just going off of statistics, and this year he's looked bad. Doesn't he have like 3 losses already?
Well, he's got Angulo. He's got Angulo. He's got the dude that fought Delorme. What's his name? Mayfield. I'm trying to think of who else. I mean.
Oh, and Brandon Gonzalez got robbed.
I mean, it's Abner's changing everything. I think he's gonna leave Espinoza, probably sign with Heyman. That's a rumor I'm hearing. And he wants out. I mean, I guess he just wants a whole new team. You know my opinion on Virgil Hunter, so. He can go home for all I care.
Yeah, man. I don't get it.
It's weird because, you know, this is a guy who he said, you know, brought him up and you know, he learned under his belt. What's his name? His trainer?
Clemente Medina.
Yeah, Medina. He, you know, he had he said so many things in the past, and even on the show, or not maybe not on the show, but in interviews, some of the early interviews from last year. I mean, this guy, he talked like it was a foundation just cemented in trust. And I think those are like close to the exact words he used. And for him to switch like this, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you know, you can look at that fight and you can make the argument that what happened was, you know, luck or it was a bad night or whatever. I mean, that's what you got to believe. But to me, this move, it makes me feel like in Abdelmadez's eyes, like he just wasn't coming along the way he wanted. And, you know, I never wanted the rematch to happen immediately because I felt like Abdelmadez needed time to grow and adjust and do all those things. And now to come in and do it at this point with a brand new trainer, and especially a guy like Hunter who really has his own kind of style, I don't know. Modest just, it feels like he's trying to find like a scapegoat. But at the same time, I kind of want to give him the benefit of the doubt. And, I mean, I think Vic is right. It looks like he's trying to, you know, just re-up. You know, he's trying to gear up and make another push. And it's like he's trying to wash the taste out of his mouth. And I don't know. I statistically or historically speaking, these kind of things don't really work out the way these fighters really want. You know, it's at this point in his career, I really don't know how Virgil Hunter is going to help him. He just doesn't seem like the kind of fighter that Virgil Hunter would be, I don't know, just make the most sense, I guess, at this point.
Well, you said something that made me think. And here, for all you Khan haters, or well, rather that feel I hate on Khan, I'll give him credit. Ever since he got with Virgil Hunter, he hasn't been knocked out, and Khan suffered a similar knockout as did Abdelmadez. Do you guys think that maybe that is why he's making this relationship? I mean, because he sees what Khan and him did. You know, that it was similar, those knockouts, and he sees how Virgil Hunter was able to slowly calm Khan down. You know, Khan was a guy that would jump in, and in that Louis Collazo fight, while I call it running, you know, another person could argue that he was effectively boxing from the outside and being calm and not darting in and sticking around long to get hit. So maybe is that what Abdelmadez is looking at? I don't know. But Nelta, talk to me, brother. You're on here.
Yeah. I wanted to say, the thing is, if you look at Marz's style, he's almost somewhere between what Khan does and what Ward does in terms of style. So I think going with Virgil Hunter makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he does fight a lot on the inside. So, and he needs to get sharpened up on the inside because he you know, he gets by on high volume and activity, really. But we got some new callers here. Let's take it back out to the streets here. Hold on, Nelson. I got to get to some other callers here, brother. 201, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yo, what's up, man? It's Seth.
Seth, what up, man? I got to memorize this number, man. I apologize.
Well, first off, fuck that guy, dude. The death threat guy, fuck that guy, man. Who the fuck is that joker? But anyway, we talking about Alvarado Marquez. I'm going for Alvarado, to be honest, man. Marquez is a very small guy. You know, he's a small Mexican. His most effective weight was at 126. That's where he did his best work, and he operates best at that weight when he was in his prime. And he's fighting at a weight class that he has no business in, but he's been getting away with it because he's been fighting other people like him that are naturally smaller fighters, and they're just fighting at welterweight because that's where the money's at. But in this fight, for the first time, I think that will get exposed. And Alvarado is, he's 5'9.5", and he's much bigger than he's a much bigger than Marquez, and I just think that he's going to be able to box and brawl at the right spots, and he's going to take the win. And aside from that, I'm starting to not like this Al Heyman shit. I haven't really been too vocal about this guy because I don't like to judge things and people until I know what's going on. And I'm starting not to like this. And this Guerrero comeback just proves it again. I mean, Guerrero is fighting some guy that I haven't even heard about, man. I haven't heard about this guy, and I'm a boxing fiend. So I don't know what this is about, and it's constantly happening over and over again. Keith Thurman is fighting people like this. We got Guerrero. Matisse fought Molina for no fucking reason, where he should have been fighting a top 5 guy. They're taking easy fights for no reason. Guerrero shouldn't be taking on someone top 10 or top 5. It doesn't matter if he's been off a year. He's a world-class fighter. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think he makes a fair point because that is the main event. I mean, obviously, I think, Gary Russell and Lomachenko, there's some interest in that fight, even though, Lomachenko's only had 2 fights and Gary Russell hasn't fought fucking nobody. I mean, I guess that fight intrigues me because I guess we get to see where both guys really are, I guess. And Devin, JSK, I mean, I'm okay with that fight. I think that could be a fun fight, but I see where he's coming from. That main event, Robert Guerrero.
I'm really disappointed in this card. Like Vic, I have high interest in the Gary Russell-Lomachenko fight because, as you all know, Gil, who has short memory, I picked Lomachenko to lose, and he did. But this Devin Alexander, I like Jesus Soto Karass, and that's JSK for any casual fans that may be listening, when Vic used the acronym. I love Jesus Soto Karass. He's a guy that's definitely going to make the fight. But like Sev said, Devin Alexander is also a world-class fighter. These two men should be fighting each other. They should be fighting each other. The main event should be Guerrero-Alexander, and give me Jesus Soto Karass versus Diego Chavez, and then you got Gary Russell-Lomachenko. Now we got a fucking pay-per-view card.
I'm with you there. All right, I'm with you there.
Excuse the pay-per-view. I said pay-per-view by accident, but now we got a real triple header. But this is not good. The only thing that I can say in defense of this garbage is that they have been giving this to us our entire life. So me seeing Guerrero in a warm-up fight or a tune-up fight to get him back in the mix, this is not out of the normal for me. I understand when you guys get upset and say, well, if he needs a tune-up, do it off TV. You're right. But me, personally, if it's going to be a tune-up, I'd rather it be on TV because like you, Sev, and the millions that listen, we are boxing fiends. So if Guerrero fought, Boogie Down Sean's aunt that scrapes the quimalitos on a hot BX summer night, I still want to watch it. So I'm going to go find it on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, my concern here again is I know I said this a few months ago with all these pay-per-views, but if you look at these cards, and I'm talking Showtime in general right now, we have one card in January, nothing in February, one card in March. I think they gave us 2 in April. We got 1 in May.
Yeah, but don't forget the ShowBox.
I don't count the ShowBox because
No, you can't do that.
No, I'm talking about championship boxing. Championship boxing.
Championship boxing.
Championship boxing. When I talk about HBO, I'm talking about HBO. I'm not talking about HBO 2.
No, because
ShowBox is a different platform. That ShowBox has
I'm
a
talking about
different
I'm talking about where the real fighters fight. I mean, when the guys are established. I compare ShowBox against TN2. I don't compare. I can't do ShowBox. I mean, that's not where the budget is. The budget is in ShowBox Championship Boxing.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's not where the real money goes. Not the ShowBox. I mean, that's a $50,000 license fee. All right, that's cool.
Wait, Vic. Are you telling me that you think there's two separate budgets?
I'm talking about where the real money's supposed to go to.
Okay, but that doesn't matter.
All right, but when I'm talking about Showtime, I'm not talking about HBO Latino. I'm not talking about HBO 2. I'm not talking about ShowBox. I'm talking about Championship Boxing. We've got 6 cars in 6 months. That's fucking pathetic.
I disagree. I disagree with everything you're saying. I do not separate the two.
I do.
You have to. You have to because
I do because I'm not going to take I'm not going to take a Zhu Shiming card and add that to where HBO is really putting their money because they're not paying shit for Zhu Shiming. Zhu Shiming's paying for himself on HBO too.
And to add to Vic's point,
you have to because you watched it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But that's the point.
The real money is not the HBO and the Showtime Championship Boxing. I'm not talking about HBO.
Understand this, right? Because I don't want you to. I think you're misunderstanding. Look, I'm not arguing with you or defending Showtime. I think that they have put together some bullshit so far. What I'm arguing is that you don't want to count all of that said network's fights, whether that's HBO or Showtime. Anything that is boxing is part of the budget, so it has to be counted.
Okay, that's fair, but my point is where the money really goes.
Again,
that's where the money really goes. Ness, a $3 million license fee compared to a $50,000 license fee, big difference.
I mean, I would compare like ShowBox to like ESPN and what Fox Sports has on. No, but you can make that kind of because and Vic touched on this. You can make that kind of comparison because the fact is this: those fights are going to happen regardless. It's always going to be some prospect or somebody they're trying to build up against a fighter, and those fights are going to happen. You're talking about you're going to watch it, but anything that's on is going to watch it. It's going to happen.
ShowBox. Let me tell you something. Everybody came up through ShowBox. The latter isn't ESPN to HBO the way that Chris Algieri is doing it. That's not how it works. That's after all the political bullshit took place. But back in the days when Devin Alexander, I'm not even going to go too far back, but when guys like Devin Alexander, Amir Khan, Timothy Bradley, Luis Carlos Abregu, when those guys were fighting and on the come up, they went from ESPN to HBO to ShowBox, then HBO. Don't forget that. You can't take away because this year's ShowBox hasn't been good because of whatever Showtime decided to do with Mayweather. I'm giving you all that credit, Vic and Mario. What I'm saying is don't belittle or discredit or try to altogether take away ShowBox when the dates are there, and that shit has been detrimental to numerous careers.
No, and don't misunderstand me. I don't want to do that, and I'm not trying to. I am grateful to every network that puts forth some sort of boxing content. I've been watching Knockout on Nuvo. It's the worst show I've ever seen in my life. Completely terrible, but I watch it every week. And the fact is, I'm going to watch the Fox Sports fights tonight with Martin Honorio and Oros. I forgot who he's fighting. But I'm going to watch those. I'm going to watch them all. I'm not belittling it. I love the fact that they have that. I wish HBO had that kind of outlet instead of randomly giving us, HBO Latino or HBO 2 fights here and there. Like, I would much rather them have a set date, a set criterion, a set agenda to house those fighters on the move up. Not everybody goes through that ShowBox transition, but a lot of people do. I don't want to belittle it in the way that's not what I'm trying to do. I love the fact that they have that, but I'm not going to compare the fights that they have on there, Joel Diaz Jr. with whatever HBO's got, or with Alvarado and Marquez. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to compare one versus the other because they're completely out of the realm. Showtime Championship Boxing versus HBO Championship Boxing and Boxing After Dark, which is just a lighter version of HBO Championship Boxing. Those are what I compare. When I say who's winning the arms race, when I talk about who's being more competitive and who's got the slighter edge in the better fights and who's promoting the best and all that stuff, those are the two shows that I'm focused on the most. The ones that come out on Saturday, those are the ones to me that have the biggest outlet.
You know what's the problem with doing that? You're comparing HBO After Dark and HBO Championship Boxing to Showtime Championship Boxing, right? And instead of saying Showtime is still competing very well with HBO, because while HBO is giving you two high-level channels with After Dark and Championship Boxing, Showtime is giving you triple headers, quadruple headers, and then they're fucking putting on top of that beautiful cake with whipped cream, a little cherry in the name of Showbox. Because where's HBO Showbox? Oh, I'll tell you. And for all the listeners that didn't know, that when they did do a deal and they were giving promoters 2 or 4 dates each, they blew it. And they never went forth with it. Right, Vic? Wasn't that Ross Greensburg's thing? Lou DiBella had 4 dates. Gary Shaw had 4 dates, and Top Rank had 4 dates. And what they end up doing, they end up putting up together some regular shit and cancel that out.
That's fair. But what I'm saying is, where the big money is spent. You can count Showbox to whatever, but where the big money is spent, where if Showbox, if you wanted to go Showbox, you could have like 30 Showboxes a year on Showtime's budget because it doesn't cost that much. Where the real money is spent, I mean, it's really bad, man. We're gonna have 3 pay-per-views and 6 regular Showtime cards. That's fine, man.
You know what point Ness? Just
that Showtime is going to get it together towards the end of the year because all their fighters would be free now. You know, now you got Thurman free, you got Porter free, you got both Charlos free. Like, everybody's free to fight on Showtime now.
No, you know what? And you know what's a fair point, Ness, that you just made me think of? We can kind of go back and forth on this and compare these things, but HBO gives themselves an escape clause with that Boxing After Dark. If Showtime were to call Robert Guerrero, and I don't know how to say his last name, is it Kamiga or something like that? I don't know. Anyway, if they were to call that Showtime After Dark, well, then there's kind of this like lower kilter where we don't, it's just a Showtime After Dark type of thing, and we wouldn't hold it to the same pantheon that we would some of the, Broner Maidana and some of like that stuff. So I guess you're right. It's unfair to hold each card similar. I mean, the card's bullshit. Kamiga, I think his greatest noted fight is a loss to Joan Perez, I think it was. That's like his claim to fame. I think he beat Hector Munoz as well. But the fact of the matter is that this card represents something that, or you know what, Ness, you put it perfectly. If you just add and subtract the most minute aspects of this card, it would be hellacious. It would be amazing. But they put it in this kind of position where you can't help but hate on it because it's Robert Guerrero versus somebody we don't care about. Sure, the opening card is solid, but it's solid to who? It's solid to you, it's solid to Vic, it's solid to me, it's solid to every one of our listeners because we know the sport, we know what it means, we know what we can expect from that fight, but no one else does. You know what I mean? Soto Karass, God love him, I think he's awesome, I think he's great, but there's 2 guys in that fight, and Devin Alexander isn't known for making rough and tumble fights. I mean, in the last year or so, he's been in some decent fights, but with a guy like Soto Karass, he's going to be better off not making it exciting. So, I think you could possibly have like a Maidana Mayweather thing go on where, one guy pushes the action and tries to make it ugly. But what we have here is a comparison that is a bit unfair. You're right. I mean, you got to kind of give Showtime their just due in terms of what they're able to put out in a span of a calendar year.
See, to my credit, because Vic doesn't want to give me none, Schaefer commented, and I quote, both Schaefer and Cunningham, Kevin Cunningham, trainer of Devin Alexander, said that if both Guerrero and Alexander win, that could lead to a fight between them in the fall. And that's what I'm saying. These guys are going to get free, and we're going to have a solid year out. It's going to be a good year. It's going to round out good because of the end of the year is going to be so jam-packed. I mean, Canelo Lara is enough for me. Canelo Lara is last year's Matisse Garcia. Like, why is this shit going under the radar? Like, what the fuck y'all want? Then last year's Canelo Mayweather was this year's Maidana Mayweather because it was a lot better than what y'all thought. And I say y'all or you guys, not me, because I picked Maidana. I thought he was going to bring it, and he did. So, I don't know, man. Look, I don't know. We could complain about this shit all we want. What needs to be noted, since I'm the Al Heyman representative here, Guerrero unsuccessfully tried to break his promotional contract with Golden Boy. Remember that. Eventually he could not, but he did sign with Al Heyman, who's close to Richard Schaefer, and apparently they worked things out, and this fight is Golden Boy promoted. So Guerrero, you know, did what all smart fighters do. Sign a Heyman, make money.
Well, we'll see. I mean, for right now, it's bullshit. So I'm sticking with bullshit till I see something different. I mean, pay-per-view, great, but I mean, why are we paying subscription money? I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like, shit, I could save me some $15 a month.
Not me, man. I'm just being honest. Listen, I know, and you know, look. I'm never gonna get bitter. I mean, this is a niche sport. Like, we know we're like fucking S&M, dude. We love the torture because no matter what you sit on that side of the screen and tell me, Vic, I know that you're gonna watch everything that they put out. You fucking watch flyweights, for God's sakes. You're gonna tell me?
Yeah, but flyweights that actually are top 10 and they fucking fight each other, and there's no, oh, I'm setting this fight up for this fight. But that fight might not happen. It might happen down the road. I mean, flyweight division, these dudes are fighting each other, man.
And you don't pay $15 for Unimos.
You don't have to pay them $1 million to fight each other.
Let's take
come cheap.
Caller right here. Let's take this caller because he's been on hold for a sec here. 757, you're live.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Oh, this is my boy from VA, right?
Nah. My name's Timbo, but I'm from that same area in Norfolk.
Oh, shit. Y'all sounded like then. Right away, I thought you was the caller that's been calling in for like the past 3 weeks. He knows his boxing. Let's see how good you are.
Oh, no, different guy. But I agree with you, Ness, as far as the card with Guerrero. I believe he should fight Diego Chavez. I mean, actually, I feel that Diego Chavez will probably beat his ass, to be honest with you, because he gave Keith Thurman a hell of a fight. And I think a lot of people is probably sleeping on that guy, man. I think he would probably beat I think he could probably beat the number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rated welterweights in the division. I think he'll give him hell. I think he's definitely being slept on. So that's just my take. And I also got to give you credit on a comment that you made about Vladimir Klitschko. I hear a lot of people say, you know, he's born and all that. But the one thing that I can give Vladimir, at least he fights the best. You know, he doesn't duck anyone. He fights the best that's basically out there. So I definitely have to give him credit for that, and definitely got to give you your props for recognizing that. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, man, I always said that those guys should be on a pound-for-pound list. I mean, they fought everybody from top 20 to the number 1, so they give everybody opportunities. Thanks for calling in, brother. You sound so much like the other guy that just called in about Marcos Maidana Mayweather in the last show, but that was spooky. Yeah, man, I don't know. Let's move on from that Guerrero talk, because last time we talked about him, it was watching him lose to Mayweather horribly, and I probably botched that word. But Eddie Chambers, who moved to the UK and is being trained by Peter Fury, Vic, he wanted to fight Orlandir Solis, but Solis rejected the fight. What type of shit is going on these days where boxers don't want to fight anymore?
I don't know, dude. Didn't Solis fight not too long ago and
lose to Tony Johnson? Yeah. I can't believe he lost that fight. I had so much hopes in Solis. He's fucking out of control. I gave him a pass with the leg issue with Klitschko. I really said he lost that fight because of that. That's what happened. That's what happened. But come on. And I ain't got nothing against Tony Thompson because he destroyed David Price for me. And I love that he did that. But with all the hype that Orlandir Solis had, beating David Haye in the amateurs, this motherfucker was supposed to take care of Tony Thompson. And he didn't do that. That's crazy. But Eddie Chambers is going to face a British journeyman. So you UK callers, podcast listeners, Twitter followers, Facebook followers, hit us up. Who the hell is Carl Baker?
Shit.
I'll tell you who he is, Vic. He's lost his last 3 of 4 fights. That's a fucking shame. This is bullshit. Bullshit. Y'all complain about Showtime. Complain about boxing in general. Look at that. That's not a tune-up fight?
Well, I mean, Eddie Chambers is being a little more active than he was over here. I mean,
I'm saying
he didn't even get fights over here.
Fight. Is it not a tune-up fight?
Yeah, pretty much. But, I mean, it's not on my channel.
Yo, you know what I did want to talk about before we get out of here? I want everybody to, I'm looking for it. The Pistola fight, Vic. Are we going to have to catch that on a top-ranked stream? Because they're not...
That's the co-feature. Pistola, what is that, Aiden?
Yeah, co-feature of what?
Alvarado, Marquez.
Are you sure? I thought it was just one fight being... I thought it was Alvarado...
No, doubleheader.
Okay, but we still have to catch the stream. Guys, if you... This will be on Top Rank, right, Vic?
What,
the Oscar Valdez fight?
Yeah, that'll be on the Top Rank app, which is pretty cool. I mean, I wish all promoters would have a fucking app like that. That's just pretty dope.
So the Oscar Valdez, Brad Solomon, Diego Magdaleno, this is all going to be on the stream? Because I want to see all 3 of those.
Yeah, it's going to be on the Top Rank stream.
Listen, you listeners out there, you hardcores, you should know about these guys. You casuals, Oscar Valdez is a good guy to be at least looking up on. He's going in versus Noel Echeverria in an 8-rounder. Brad Solomon, there's a lot of hype about Brad Solomon, but it's not roars, you know? It's amongst the media. But Brad Solomon, I'm told, is very good. Diego Magdaleno, you already know. No. Fuck Diego. I thought he was Jesse. That ain't the way I went.
Well, I mean, they're like Joel Diaz, man. See what comes up with Joel Diaz. Joel Diaz is a pretty good trainer.
Hey, Vic, Diego is not the younger one, right?
No, Jesse's the younger one.
Yeah, no. I mean, you can watch Magdaleno if you want. I mean, you know, he's got no power and he wears skirts in the ring like Rosado does, so I don't even understand that shit. But I'm glad that, you know, we could catch it on the stream. I hope I can put that shit on Apple TV. I hate watching boxing in front of my computer. Who wants to help me pronounce this dude's name that was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade, eventually vacated the... No, wrong guy. The light heavyweight. What's his name? Bragamar or Bragmir?
Jürgen Brammer.
Brammer. He's going to be making his title defense in June, just 2 months after making his first light heavyweight title defense. Brammer will be back in the ring for the number 2 when he faces Robert Bolden. I was practicing his name because this shit should be Latin because he's from Argentina. Boloniti on June 7th. I don't know why on June 7th. Whatever. Like, who's going to really be watching this June 7th?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I heard my boy Shawnee. What's his last name? The dude that's always on Top Rank fights in New York. Shawnee Monahan might have to go. Might get a title shot and travel over there to Germany to fight him.
Yeah, I don't know about Shawnee.
Hey, it's a title shot, dude. You got to take them when they come, especially when the other promoter pretty much has all the belts.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm not gonna knock him on that. Got to do what he got to do. But talking about titles and belts and traveling, we're all gonna be traveling virtually when we watch Showtime on May 24th from the Bell Center in Montreal. On Thursday, promoter Yvonne Michaels announced that the bulk of the May 24th card is set. It's going to be David Lemieux on the undercard versus Fernando Guerrero. I like this fight. You know, again, this is what Vic is talking about. This, in his eyes, isn't championship boxing. Well, I guess it is because of the main event, right? Yeah. Well,
I mean, I like the co-feature. I think it's going to be fun. I think we'll find out where two guys are. One guy, you know, got knocked out by Rubio. The other one got, you know, his ass beat by Kid Chocolate. So we'll see. I mean, one guy will probably never be on our air again. The other guy probably, I mean, if Lemieux wins, you got to think he's going to fight Kid Chocolate next.
Well, also another reason to tune in outside of the fact that Adonis Stevens is fighting and should be a good fight because Fonfara is a good come-forward fighter. Last time I remember seeing him, I think it was versus Glenn Johnson. But Jermell Charlo is going to be on this fight card. The problem is I never heard of Charlie Bellamy. I never heard of him ever.
Me neither.
Mario, have you?
Nah, you know, I saw that in the thing when Matt sent me the itinerary, and I looked him up. I don't even recognize a single fighter he's fought. But you know, that's kind of where Jermell Charlo is. It's like, you know, he's at this point in his career where it's like, I think too big a step up would be a mistake, and at the same time, you know, he's gotten to where he's at with some decent victories, and so I don't know. I mean, it's good to see him in action, staying competitive. I mean, not competitive, but staying active. I think that's the most important part for him. So the fact of the matter is, they got two decent fights. I think that, in my opinion, Lemieux Guerrero is a more competitive fight, you know, than the actual main event. Maybe not by much, but I don't know.
It is, and to be fair, you know, that was going to be on HBO too, so it's basically someone's paying for this bullshit. One of the guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but you know, one was, if HBO paid for it, they were looking at Kovalev and Stevenson. Now that Showtime's paying for it, they're looking at Bernard Hopkins Stevenson. So.
Well, another reason to tune in, and Vic, correct me if I'm wrong, are they going to have some Showtime Extreme? Because they got more fighters on the undercard.
Let me look at the press release. I think they are.
It's going to be Alvarez versus Johnson. And
yeah, I think they're showing one show Extreme. I think it's Alvarez Johnson.
Julian Williams, Michael Medina is also on that. That's not bad. And your boy, Mikhail Zuski.
Yeah, that's what I was.
That's your boy. I'm more excited to see him than I am to see Charlo.
I think it's only gonna be Julian and Ilya Alvarez on the show box. I don't think Zuski's making that.
I was hoping to see Zuski, man, because I like Zuski.
He's a
tough kid, and he's in good shape. That kid, he's always in good shape. Basti Samir is off of Friday night's card. Samir suffered a shoulder injury on Friday and is now off the card. Now the telecast will feature two bouts, scheduled 10-rounder main event between junior lightweight prospect Joel Diaz. He's going to be taking on Tyler Alistine, 14-1-7, and junior middleweight prospect Frank Galarza from New York City, Brooklyn. He's going to be taking on Sebastian Butchard. That's a 9-0, but only 2 knockout fighter. Galarza just recently re-signed with AJ Galante to another managerial deal, and he was also featured on that Boxing 30 episode. You know, he only has those 2 draws. One coming to Alantez Fox, and I don't know the other one, but Galarza's picking up some steam. He's been fighting a lot. I've been watching him. He's been on a lot of Brooklyn cards and Queens cards. He's been fighting in that new casino out in Queens. He's also been fighting on a couple of Barclays Center cards with Golden Boy. Is this going to be his coming out party? Because he's going to be making it to Showtime here, and you know, basically TV time.
Well, wasn't he on Showbox before where he had that fucking sick-ass knockout of that tall dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the rumor is that Lou DiBella might be getting some Showtime dates. I'm not sure how strong that is. And I'm not talking about Showbox, but Showtime. So.
Well, I hope, man, because you know, I've always said it. Like, I love Mayweather, you know, but I want him to go because he's got boxing in a stronghold right now. Let's run through these upcoming fights. We just mentioned what's going on in Fox Sports 1 Deportes. No, we did not. We were talking about the Showtime card with Joel Diaz. So we're going to talk about Fox Sports 1. That's going to be
tonight.
Tonight.
That's in my PR. What time this starts?
I think 9.
9.
Or 10 your time.
Oh, it's 10 o'clock here? All right.
All right, so, hey, Mario, pick up where I left off so I can set this up.
Well, Orozco, I think that's how you pronounce it, versus Honorio. I like that fight, Vic. I think it's a good competitive matchup. You know, Honario's always been a guy who can. He's always surprised me. When he had his HBO 2 fight against Juan Carlos, one of the Juan Carloses, you know, he did a really great job of implementing a game plan and sticking with it. To me, he's always been an undervalued fighter. You know, he's bounced around Unimas and Univision for years, and for him to come on Fox Deportes, being the main event, I wouldn't call it a major upset if he were to win this fight. I don't know if I'm saying it's a 50-50 per se, but I think it's a good fight.
Wait. We're on our way out, so we got to pick this before the fight happens. And you are saying what about Orozco? Because I think he's gonna win this. Martin Honorio, like
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a 50-50 fight. I'm not saying he's not going to win or he's not supposed to win. All I'm saying is Martin Honorio over the last few years has impressed me, even in his losses. I wouldn't consider it a major upset. Consider it an upset, of course, but I wouldn't consider it a major upset if he were to win. I like this fight. I think it's a good fight. I think stylistically it's a good fight.
I would consider it a very solid win for Antonio Orozco.
Yeah,
I think he's a good prospect. He's one of those guys I'd look out for. He's Espinoza guy. Him and Camarón. Who's that? Julian Rodriguez? Is that his name? I think those are two prospects that I want. Julian Ramirez. I'm sorry.
Julian Ramirez. Yeah.
Those are two guys I'm really looking forward to seeing, and I think this is a pretty good step-up fight for him.
Definitely.
But I'm taking him.
Yo.
By the way. I'm picking him.
We need to start doing a "Where Are They Now" segment. What happened to that kid that was trained by his father, come forward style? He was on Showbox a lot. I think he was like a featherweight, maybe. Chris Avalos, maybe.
Chris Avalos. Yeah, I mean.
That's his name because he fought Christian. He fought the other Christian and lost. He lost to the CO, the correction officer. What was the correction officer's name?
You got me there.
What?
I don't remember, dude.
The correction officer fought the kid from Philly. What's the kid from Philly's name? Tion Kennedy. Man, you guys suck.
Oh.
Are you serious, Vic?
My mind, I don't remember guys that haven't been on my TV in like the last year.
I remember who you're talking about, but I don't know what you're talking about as far as that goes.
Christian Martin, thank you, Nelta.
Christian Martin, there you go.
Let me bring Nelta the fuck back on. Nelta, man, tell these fucking guys something, man. It's me and your world.
Yeah, that's right, man.
It's me and your world. You can't even remember his fucking name. Get out of here.
Wait, Vic. You can't put me in your category. I fucking described him to you in his last 3 fights.
Dude, I can only watch so much boxing and remember so much, dude.
I remember him clearly. I knew exactly who you were talking about. I just couldn't remember his name.
Hey, Nelta, you always on point. But hold on 1 minute because we got some new callers. I'm sorry, brother. Dre, what's up, brother? I'm sorry, I didn't see you there.
Nah, no problem, man. Good show. Yo, what's up, Vic? What's going on, Ness?
Okay.
What's up, Mario? Get your thoughts real quick on the main event this weekend with Alvarado and Marquez, and who do you want to win? Because it's apparent that it looks like the winner might get Pacquiao on the fall.
Well, what we're going to do is flip that question back to yourself. We would rather have your prediction because we really beat that topic up, and we're going to just end the show with our picks.
All right, cool. My prediction is I feel that Marquez is old, but I think that Alvarado is beat up as well, so that's just as equally as old. But I think that Alvarado's style is tailor-made for Marquez. You know, if Marquez needed a fight, I would say it would have to be against the Alvarado that came off of 2 tough fights with Rios, and especially a tough fight like Provodnikov. So I'm gonna have to lean towards Marquez. Now, do I want to see Marquez Pacquiao 5? Absolutely not. I mean, those were great fights in the past years, but I don't want to see that again. And I would much rather see Alvarado Pacquiao. I thought that Alvarado deserves it more. I'd rather see him get his money. But like I said, I'm leaning more towards Marquez by late KO stoppage or a wide unanimous decision. But I would much rather see Alvarado fight Pacquiao in the fall.
You know, Dre, you asked a great question. You said, who would we prefer to win? And that's different from who do we want to win, who we're going for, or whatever. Because you bring up a really interesting point. I agree with you completely, and I think we might be in the minority based on, what I've been seeing and people I've been talking to in terms of seeing a 5th fight. I really don't need to see a 5th fight. I don't want to see a 5th fight. I mean, of course I'd buy it. Of course it would be significant. But you're right. I would rather see Alvarado and Pacquiao fight. I think stylistically it's a great matchup. I think, like Ness touched on earlier in the show, where Alvarado's a flawed fighter from a boxing standpoint who resorts to slugging. Who does that sound like? That sounds exactly like Pacquiao. A flawed boxer with holes. The difference, of course, is that Pacquiao is tremendously gifted athletically, but I'm with you, man. I want Alvarado to win, and even if Marquez wins, like, what's he gonna do? I don't know if he's gonna fight Pacquiao for sure. So where does he go from there? I think it's better for the sport if Alvarado wins.
Well, I really don't want to see Pacquiao Marquez 5, and I think if Alvarado wins, he certainly deserves the fight. I mean, he should have got it the first time he beat Rios, and
great point.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's to a point where you want to see different matchups. I mean, come on, man.
Yo, Vic.
I don't want to see that no more. I mean, I'm sorry. And if Alvarado wins, I think he deserves it. And it's going to be in Macau. I don't know if Marquez will go to Macau anyway. So, whatever.
Vic, but does it hurt you, like, deep down in your soul? Does it hurt you that, like, we have gotten so many different variations of Manny Pacquiao with his limited opponents on Top Rank that you're now begging for Alvarado, a guy that you already know has no shot at all?
I'm not begging. I'm not begging. I just don't want to see Marquez. And I know people don't want to see Alvarado Pacquiao, but I think if he beats Marquez, I think he certainly deserves to fight Pacquiao.
I think it's a fun fight.
This is how I'm listening over here. This is how it sounds to me. It's like, man, I don't want to see Bradley versus Pacquiao again. Man, I don't want to see Marquez versus Pacquiao. Man, fuck Rios, man. He got killed versus Pacquiao. Fuck, Margarito's retired. Well, we ain't get Marquez. Let's give Marquez a shot. It's like, yo, this Cold War it really needs to end, man. They need to.
Not only that, but maybe the 2 guys at the top need to fucking retire.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm.
That's a good point.
I mean, I think once those 2 guys are gone, I mean, once Pacquiao and Mayweather are gone, then you know what? There is no sweepstakes until we find another guy. And I don't know right now who's going to take the reins from either guy, young and up and coming.
And that's going to force a lot of these guys to fight more competitive fights because they're going to want that position.
I've been screaming for that. I think this is, man, I want to say this is, I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to do a B, but I'm going to gamble. You better be motherfucker.
Yo, man, wrong again, man. It's
oh, shit. It's fucking Jose from Canada.
Yo, I'm gonna start buying some of those African shirts, man. You're starting to get me into the mood there. Anyway,
yo, first of all, Jose, wait a minute.
I don't.
Jose, wait a minute.
Yep.
There's a message for you on this show, so you must listen to it on podcast. You've been officially called out by Gil. He wants to bet you on Friday night's fights. I know you don't bet small fights.
Because there's a Canadian against Dominican. Is that why?
Well, he wants you to pick all the Canadians because they're Canadians or some shit, or because they're fighting in Canada. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I'll take him. I'll go on the limb and take it. I also no, I don't have much time here. I'm just with my baby, and she's gonna get cranky here. So, but I'm gonna pick what's it called, Alvarado to upset Marquez, man.
Smart man.
The voice of reason has spoken.
That's it, man. It's it. And
Have we made our picks? Because I'm with Jose on this one.
Bob Arum and De La Hoya to have to make up and play nice, man, because there's no way in hell that Alvarado should be fighting against Pacquiao, man. I agree with you. It's going to be a shitty fight, so maybe this will force the makeup sooner, and hopefully we'll see those fights. But yeah, man, that's it.
All right, Jose. Last call of the night, 630. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
What's going on? This is Mega.
Mega, what up?
I'm just, what's going on? I'm just calling to make my pick. I'm gonna take Marquez, and to be honest, man, this fight hasn't been promoted. I don't even know who's on the undercard. I just called in right now. All right, that's cool. Yeah, I'll just take Marquez for my pick of the night decision.
There isn't a televised undercard.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is. They're gonna show the select item.
Yeah, post out Aiden.
Oh, okay. Shit, I didn't know.
Yeah, I want to see that Pistola Aiden fight myself, man. I can't wait for that one because Vic, you spoke highly about Pistola.
I mean, he beat Hank Lundy. I mean, I know that doesn't mean much to most people, but a lot of people thought Hank Lundy could outbox a dude, and he did his worth. And a lot of people have been in our chat saying that, Danny Garcia should fight Victor Postel. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but when you're in the chats, anytime we bring up that dude at 140, they say he's a legit contender. So we'll see him on our air this Saturday. So we'll see what he's all about.
Yeah, man, I can't wait because, like I said, you spoke about him, and I've heard rumors. I've reported rumors on the last show that Garcia may face Aiden, or would be the mandatory or something like that. So
Postel might be the mandatory if he wins.
Or Aiden if he
wins. Okay.
But let's make these picks, man. Let's get them out. Let's get out of here. I'm going Diaz. I love Joel Diaz, so I'm going Diaz. I'm going Galarza.
I'm going the same.
That's easy. Rodriguez, I think he has. Let's do this right. On Showtime in Connecticut, the main event is going to be Joel Diaz. I already told you who he's going to be facing. I'm picking Diaz, and Galarza on the co-main. I'm picking Galarza. You guys?
Yeah, I'm with you. That's not up for debate.
ESPN Deportes in Montreal, Canada, the home of the Voice of the Reason, Canadian Jose, who's also coming to New York City. So you guys need to all come out, man. We need to fucking hit a bar up after the fight and just take it over. It's New York City. City that never sleeps, baby. Let's do it. But Delvin Rodriguez is going to be fighting this guy. I can't even pronounce this dude's name. He's from
Josim, what is it? Josim Alclean or?
Josim, I lose to every named fighter I've ever fought to. That's we're just gonna give you guys their own names. Derek Rossi is gonna be fighting Joe. I only got one loss, but it's to Andy Ruiz, who's an upcoming heavyweight, who's tremendously sloppy yet skillful. Hanks
fighting Saturday too.
He's fighting, I never heard of Derek Rossi. I don't think I've ever seen him fight.
I've seen him fight a few times. I don't know. I mean, that could be a fun fight, but I think obviously this is a star boxing card, so I'm gonna go with your boy from Newark, or is he from Newark, right, Joe?
Yeah, he's originally from Newark, but he trains and lives in Las Vegas now. Look, I don't even know. For pick's sake, I'm gonna go with Hanks because the hometown guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him because he's the only one I've seen fight out of the two.
I'm gonna go with him, and I'm gonna go with Delvin, I guess.
Yeah, I'm with Delvin too because again, this guy's new last name is I never beat a named fighter. Main event. I mean, no. Let's do this slow. Let's take it out to Wales. Callum Smith versus Tobias Webb. I never seen Tobias Webb. I have seen Callum Smith once. So
I'm going with the hometown or the home continent fighter, whatever fuck European guy, Callum Smith, or UK guy, excuse me.
I guess Mario, what's your pick?
Yeah, I guess Smith. I mean, I don't even know who Webb is.
I've never heard of that dude.
I guess the fight of the night probably is going to be Gary Buckland versus Gavin Reese, because if Gary Reese loses or
he's
wins,
retiring either way, I think.
Yeah, he's retiring.
Yeah. And also Nathan Cleverly is going to be on this card. He's going to be fighting Sean Corbin in a 12-round cruiserweight fight. He's moving up in weight after his destruction by the hands of Kovalev. And the main event is Lee Shelsby. I'm going to be watching this fight. There's been a lot of hype on this Shelsby kid.
Shelby.
Eddie Hearn wants him to fight No Needham next if he wins, I think.
Wow, that is very brave of Eddie Hearns to say, because, you know, I want to see that then. Jose Benavidez Jr. is going to be in action in Unimas. He's going to be taking on Angel Hernandez in another 8-rounder. This kid's been fighting 8-rounders forever. Anton Nikovev, Javier Castro. Look, I don't know Nikovev. I'm going Ramirez on this card. Andy Ruiz, Jose Benavidez Jr., and these other guys are nondescripts, man. I don't fucking know them, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, same. I got Ramirez.
Yeah, I'm going favorites too.
Yeah, and on the undercard of Alvarado, Juan Manuel Marquez, and anybody who's listening, please don't think that we're rushing this. It's just that you guys haven't even seen these guys because we barely have seen them. So imagine. But I'm going to go Valdez, Solomon, and of course Magdaleno. And I think that my final pick of the night, drum roll please, I still don't know, so I'm going to wait till you guys pick.
Well, I'm going Postel, Magdaleno, Solomon, Valdez, and I am going with the upset special, Mike Alvarado, to upset Juan Manuel Marquez.
Now, I just want to tell everybody, Vic, you know that Kim made the same pick, right?
Well, I told you after our interview with Mike Alvarado when he was, whatever he was that day, that going off that, I'm picking Mike Alvarado. But
the 4 pounds, Vic, and the naturally bigger man.
He's a naturally bigger man.
Remember
this
one thing. Mike Alvarado fought Carlos Molina, who's now in Mexico, at 154.
Well, I'm going with Mike Alvarado because I think Juan Manuel Marquez.
I think
you got to get old sometime. I think it's going to be this fight. There's no drug testing for this fight, so that kind of worries me a little bit. Memorial already has passed and things like that. There's standard California drug testing, obviously, but Marquez can be hit and Marquez can be floored. Michael Katsides put Marquez on his ass. Let's not forget that. And you say what you want. Katsides is a warrior, but I think as far as skill and as far as power, Mike Alvarado is a notch above Michael Katsides. And I think from all I've heard, this has been Mike Alvarado's best training camp. I know people say that all the fucking time, but he's away from Denver. He was in California. And I just think Alvarado's going to win.
Yeah, oh, go ahead, Ness.
I'm going to just make my pick really quick, Mario, because I just like being against Vic. I'm going fucking Marquez. Alvarado is technically flawed. He always, like Amir Khan, he never follows his game plan, but credit to Khan in his last fight he did. And Marquez is just a better inside fighter. Let's be real. If Alvarado is going to be forced to push the pace, because if he doesn't, Marquez wins a counterfest from the outside easy.
Yeah, before when the show started, I mentioned a lot of the things that I thought Alvarado could do to win. Vic touched on like 90% of them. I I'm not going to be surprised if Alvarado pulls it off, but I am picking Marquez because of the one factor that remains the same in my opinion. I think if the best Marquez shows up versus the best Alvarado, I think Marquez wins. Even though he's the heavier fighter, he's going to be the heavier fighter. I just feel like the best Marquez can beat the best Alvarado. At the end of the day, Vic's right. Marquez has to get old at some point. If it's this fight, then that doesn't surprise me either. It's a really great matchup. I'll tell you what, and going back to what I wanted to tell James earlier, the fact that for me that I think is a guarantee is it's going to be an exciting fight. I can't see how it's going to be a boring fight. I mean, unless Marquez runs away with it, even if he runs away with it, I still think at some point he's going to try to test Alvarado. At some point he's going to get, he's going to want to gamble. And I think that Alvarado is the kind of fighter who abandons game plans at the wrong time. Even though he, has shown he can brawl successfully when he needs to, Marquez is the kind of fighter who has the ability to counteract that. Now, will he get into a firefight like he has a tendency to do? That's what I'm saying. Like, every single argument you can make for Alvarado, every single argument you can make for Marquez can be counterbalanced. But I think the one factor is it's going to be an incredible fight. I really think we're going to see some fireworks at some point in the fight. But I think Marquez is going to win by decision.
Yeah, man. Well, this has been another edition of the Boxing Voice. Thank you to everyone who continues to support us and listen. Remember, the iTunes reviews are extremely important to us, and you already know.
The Boxing Voice for the voice of the people.
Peace. Peace. Later.